Yes, I can. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium in Lamar, Missouri. Big 8 Conference West matchup tonight between the Lamar Tigers and the Cassville Wildcats. Glad to be with you here tonight on the road. Big 8 Conference football on the Talon Sports Network, KQMO 97.7 FM and CassvilleWebTV.com. Also live free streaming audio at RadioTalon.com and free streaming audio and video on the KQMO app. Sammy Clapper along with Jeremy Marple, Todd Speakman alongside running the Web TV and the camera for us again tonight. And we are down to week number 8 left in the regular season. Just one regular season week left after tonight, and then it's on to district play. The season is flying by. We definitely got some football-like weather tonight, some chilly temperatures, going to get down into the 40s before it's over tonight. And for the first time this year, the teams are going to be dealing with some windy conditions as we've got winds blowing 15 to 20, some gusts up around 25. We'll see if they die down a little bit once the sun starts to set, which is already just about down behind the trees here on the west side of Lamar. But they're forecasting that the wind is supposed to kind of keep up its intensity a little bit throughout the rest of the evening, so we'll see how that affects the football game. Glad to be along with you here for the Wildcats as they make the trip up to Barton County to battle the Tigers. And Jeremy back with us this week after being out on assignment. That's what we told everybody last week.
I heard.
And so he's back with us here tonight. And we've got a good crowd on hand for this one. and we are going to go ahead and jump right into the Mercy Hospital pregame show. Mercy Hospital, where your life is their life's work. Well, Cassville coming off a big win last week over Springfield Catholic, 42-0 over the Irish. Now they've got another tough task tonight, one of their biggest of the season, as they're taking on the Lamar Tigers, runner-up in Class 2 the last 2 years. Of course, they've won all the state championships that we see on the banner behind us from our broadcast position. A very successful program out of the Big 8. They're ranked in the top 10 again this year. In fact, they're number 1 in Class 2, and that's despite losing a couple of weeks ago to Seneca. They had quite the battle last week against Nevada, and did get the win over Nevada as they scored a touchdown in the first quarter to jump on top, and then nobody scored the rest of the game until the fourth quarter. Lamar got a punt return of all things for their second touchdown, and they won 14-0. The impressive part about that is they shut out the Nevada Tigers.
Oh, absolutely. And first, I just want to tell Todd I appreciate him pulling double duty last week and helping out with the broadcast. Good to be back tonight. But you're right, the Wildcats have made the long trek up here, and they're going to take on this Lamar Tiger football team that we've seen for quite a few years now, that they just keep churning out players, and they've got a system and a program, and it's very impressive.
A game last week against the Irish for Cassville, a game they expected to win, needed to win to snap the two-game skid. They did that. They took care of business, got the shutout victory, and now have a little momentum going back here into the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, they Wildcats had maybe the worst team in the conference last week, and they're going to be going up against one of the better teams in the conference tonight. So last week it's great to get back on that winning side, get some confidence, put some points up, do some fun things. But tell you what, tonight the opponent is tough, and the Wildcats are going to have to bring that toughness themselves.
Well, to get in underway here in the Mercy Hospital pregame show, we're going to go over tonight's field condition report. And like so many teams in the Big 8 now, artificial surface here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. The field condition report's brought to you by Security Insurance of Cassville. What condition is your insurance in? Are you covered for the hazards of weather or losses unexpected? Call Security Insurance at 847-8384. That's 847-8384. And Lamar was kind of like Seneca. I didn't think they would get artificial surface as quickly as they did, but of course when you're winning all those state championships and having all the success that their football program has, they knew they were going to be playing late into the year, into November, and now state championships aren't until the first week of December, so it's nice to have that artificial surface. Once you get later in the season, you don't have to worry about the rain and the mud and things like that.
Well, you know, for years we came up here and they had a beautiful grass surface. It was very well maintained. And, you know, after the broadcast, we would see the field maintenance guys on the field right after the game, kind of aerating and doing some things to keep it in tip-top shape. A little disappointed to see them get rid of that. I know it takes a lot of work, but yeah, it's a beautiful artificial surface facility they have here, and yeah, you know, you win games, you win state champions, you got a lot of people wanting to throw money at you, so you see some sponsors sprinkled around out there on the turf.
Yeah, that's one thing. I only saw that old grass field get really tore up one time. Like you said, they did a great job with it. It was always in beautiful condition, whether you were playing them in August or whether you're playing them in October or November. One year they had a tremendous amount of rain up here in Barton and Vernon County. They got like 5 or 6 inches in 1 week, and it got chewed up a little bit that time, but all the other times it was gorgeous. But they don't have to worry about the natural grass anymore because they've got artificial surface here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Well, we'll take a look at tonight's Wildcat Keys to Victory. They're brought to you by Wesco Home Furnishings in Cassville. Mark Whittemire and the crew at Wesco are looking forward to a great season of Wildcat football, and just like the quality portrayed by each player on the field, Wesco offers that same quality merchandise and customer service. Well, Lamar, there's no secret to what they like to do. Coach Beshore's changed the offense just a little bit from back when he played under Coach Bailey. It's not just run. He'll mix in the pass every now and then. He's got some athletes at the edge that he can do that, but still they're predominantly going to line up and just run it right at you. You've got to be able to control that running game.
Yeah, they will. They'll run it until you make them throw it, and then they'll run it some more and throw it. They have the athletes to do that. Coach Beshore does a nice job with the cards he's dealt every year and seems to find a way to put them in positions to be very successful.
Key to a win for the Wildcats, too, is to win the field possession battle, because the field position, if you give Lamar short fields to work with, they're going to make it hurt.
Yeah, you got to take care of the football. In a game like this on the road, tough opponent. You've got to find a way to stay ahead of the chains and don't have penalties and plays for losses. And if the Wildcats can stay out of 3rd and long tonight, it's going to be a good night.
And you can probably hear the wind blowing across our microphones. That's going to factor into a little bit of what I just said about field position, because the wind right now is coming out of the west-northwest, which is blowing across the field from the west side to the east side. The field here at Lamar runs north-south. But it's gradually going to shift around to the northwest, which is going to be coming out of that north end zone. So somebody at some point tonight is going to be going into that wind. The other team will have the wind at their back. So going into that wind, you're going to have to really protect the football, take care of the football, because you don't want to have to kick into that breeze that's blowing 15 to 20 mile an hour right now.
You don't want to have to kick into it. You don't have to throw into it. You don't want to be the team that's in a position that feels like they have to throw to get back in the ball game.
Again, tonight's Wildcat Keys to Victory brought to you by Mark and the gang at Wesco Home Furnishings. They've got furniture, mattresses, appliance, and so much more at 109 West State Street in Cassville. You can also find them online at wescohome.com. Well, the Lamar Marching Band is getting ready for the national anthem. They still have not been called out onto the field yet. We've still got about 20 minutes before tonight's opening kickoff, so we're going to take a quick break here and let you hear from some of our sponsors of tonight's broadcast. Be back with more of the Mercy Hospital pregame show. Mercy Hospital, where quality care matters. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners and are also vital to preserving our fine sports traditions. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember to be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. This sportsmanship reminder brought to you by Access Family Care, with locations in Cassville, Neosho, Aurora, Mount Vernon, and Joplin. Your Wildcat broadcast crew is brought to you by Les Jacobs Ford. They offer direct repair for most insurance companies. Direct means that they are the insurance provider's trusted choice to complete your repairs. Les Jacobs Ford in Cassville. Marching band getting ready to play the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem brought to you by the Rib Steakhouse. It's the area's go-to for the best steaks, barbecue, fish, chicken, and more. They're open Wednesday through Saturday, 3 to 9, with specials every night at the Rib in Cassville. We'll step aside and be back with more of the Mercy Hospital pregame show. You're listening to Wildcat Football here on the Talon Network. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back with you here in Lamar, Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. The Lamar Tigers hosting the Cassville Wildcats here tonight. One of many games around the Big Eight. Nevada's at Monette, Aurora at East Newton, McDonald County at Seneca, Marshfield at Mount Vernon, Reed Spring at Rogersville, and Hollister at Catholic, the other Big Eight games this evening here in week number 8 of the high school football season. Well, as we said, tonight and next Friday, the final 2 nights of the regular season, and then it's on to district play. Right now, Cassville is in the 4th spot in Class 3 District 6. They jumped back over Aurora after Aurora lost to Reed Spring last week, and Cassville beat Springfield Catholic. So the Wildcats, and as far as we know, looking at everything, they pretty much locked themselves into that 4th spot. Now, teams above them and teams below them, there's still some things left to be decided. Aurora plays East Newton tonight, so the winner of that game will stay, or will be in the position right behind Cassville. But then above Cassville, Mount Vernon and Reed Spring, they play each other next week in the regular season finale. So there's still a few things to shake out right now. Seneca's in the top spot in the district. Hollister's at the bottom of the district. That probably will not change unless something really crazy happens. Seneca doesn't have easy games left. They got McDonald County and Nevada, so you never know. But Cassville looks to be locked into that 4th spot right now.
Yeah, a lot of jockeying for position there all the way up to the last week. That's what makes it exciting.
Cassville comes in with a record of 4-3 after winning last week. Lamar is 6-1. They lost in week 4 to Seneca in that dandy 28-14 game, and that has Seneca unbeaten and still atop the Big 8 Conference West. And of course, this will be the last year we're saying that too. Next year, the East and the West divisions will be gone. The East division has already come unraveled. Aurora and Mount Vernon will meld back in with the West. And then Rogersville, Marshfield, they've went off and formed their own conference. And Hollister, Reed Spring, and Springfield Catholic are going to the Mid-Lakes.
And I have my own opinions on that. I won't share what I really want to say, but the conference is getting back to closer to the way it should be.
Yeah, it's back to the old Big 8 with the exception of one addition, and that's McDonald County. And McDonald County was part of that group way back when they were the Big 13, and then McDonald County went with the Southwest Conference when Webb City and Neosho, Carthage, they broke off, and Carl Junction. But now you've got the old traditional Big 8 back with Lamar, Seneca, East Newton, Monette, Cassville, Aurora, Mount Vernon, and then you've got McDonald County and Nevada going to be put in with them as well.
Yep, that's just fine. The teams that are leaving, we won't miss them.
And the thing, when the Big 8 expanded, it had a lot to do with not just football, but all sports from one end of the spectrum to the other. But I don't think anybody visualized that, like Marshfield, Rogersville, even Reed Spring a little bit, would grow as quickly as they did. And then schools like Springfield Catholic and Hollister would actually kind of start shrinking a little bit. And it made a kind of lopsided conference in terms of enrollment in school population. So it's kind of back to where a lot of schools are closer to the same size and closer to a lot of same on the field in the competition when you look at all sports, and you're up to 15 to 20 sports now at some schools.
Well, and you're exactly right there, and I'm really not that bitter about it, Sam. Trust me, I wasn't a big fan of the conference expanding in the first place back 5 or 6 years ago,
right? Whenever
it happened, but I get where say like a team like Logan Rogersville is coming from, where the conference that they're going to be in is, let's see what they got: Marshfield, Rogersville, Branson,
Bolivar,
West Plains, Bolivar, and am I leaving somebody out? But those schools, they're all similar size, and you never want to be the largest team in a conference, especially when if you're a Class 5 school, you don't like getting beat by Class 2 and 3 schools.
Right.
So I understand it. I kind of get where they're coming from there.
One thing we want to mention before we continue on here and talk football, I want to talk a little Cassville Lady Wildcat golf. Their golf team hosted the district tournament earlier this week down at the Cassville Golf Club. Mount Vernon won the team championship, but the Cassville Lady Wildcats finished in 2nd place in the district tournament amongst 15 schools, and the Lady Wildcats, along with the Lady Mountaineers, will be sending their entire teams on to state, which gets underway Monday up in Joplin, Monday and Tuesday at Twin Hills Country Club there in Joplin. And Avery Chapel individually finished 2nd for the Lady Wildcats. So congratulations to them. For the first time ever, they're sending their entire team to the state golf tournament. They've sent individuals in the past, but this year by finishing second in the district, the whole team gets to move on to the state tournament.
You bet, it's great. And just bring their cold gear for Monday and Tuesday, because I think it's going to be chilly.
I think the temperature is supposed to be in the 50s. Hopefully the wind lets up, because being cold is one thing, but trying to play golf in the cold and the wind, that's completely a whole different thing.
Yes, it is.
Well, continuing on here with the Mercy Hospital pregame show, Mercy Hospital, where your life is their life's work. We need to check out the Cassville Wildcats starting lineup. It's brought to you by Fast Trip in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Offensively for the Wildcats, they will start Bodie Rose at quarterback, 5'10", 160-pound junior. Bodie on the season has, if I can get my papers out from underneath so they don't all blow away, Bodie has ran for 539 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's thrown for 240 yards and 1 touchdown for the Wildcats. Joined in the backfield by Bryson Jacobson, a 6'1", 185 senior. Bryson has ran for 183 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. And Kyle Bailey, 5'8", 155 junior. Kyle has ran for 478 yards and 3 touchdowns. The receivers, Colton Roark, he's a 5'10", 160-pound sophomore. He's got 138 yards worth of passes and a touchdown. He's also ran for a score, and he'll be joined at the receiver by Joseph Kraft, a 5'9", 160 senior. Tight end for the Wildcats, Cosmo Rhodes, a 6'5", 215 senior. And the offensive line, Isaac Looney, 6', 230 sophomore. Ethan Sizemore, 6', 230 sophomore. Richard Phone, 6'1", 210 senior. Joseph Ryder, 5'10", 205 senior. And Colton Blankenship, 5'10", 210-pound senior. Defensively for the Wildcats, on the line, they will start Joseph Ryder, 5'10", 205 senior. And Cosmo Rhodes, 6'5", 215 senior, along with Isaac Pickett, 5'10", 185 junior. Linebackers for Cassville will be Kyle Bailey, 5'8", 155 junior. Hunter Morse, 5'9", 170 junior. Mason Bryan, 5'9", 160 freshman. And Tristan Thompson, 5'9", 170 sophomore. And the defensive backs, Bryson Jacobson, 6'1", 185 senior. Colton Roark, 5'10", 160 sophomore. Dakota Bowen, 5'4", 125 senior. And Joseph Kraft, 5'9", 160 senior. Again, our Cassville Wildcats starting lineup brought to you by Fast Trip. Whether for fuel, grocery items, fountain drinks, or snacks, they have it all and at the very best prices. Fast Trip, 104 South Main in Cassville, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Well, both teams have made it out onto the field. We've still got about 5 or 6 minutes before tonight's opening kickoff. Lamar in the all-black uniforms, trimmed in red and white, with the black helmets and the white numbers on the front and back. Cassville with the white jerseys, black pants, black helmets with the black numbers on the front and back. Well, Lamar has had some players get dinged up at quarterback, as Alex Wilkerson and Cooper Hahn have both been fighting through some injuries the last couple of weeks. But as we look across the field, they're both dressed out tonight, and they're both going through warm-ups right now. So we'll see who Coach Beshore sends out to be the signal caller. Used to, a few years ago, they had the twin signal callers in the double wing. And they kind of went back to that a couple of weeks ago when Hahn and Wilkerson both got injured. They brought in Trent Torbeck to be their quarterback, and they kind of went back to that double wing with the twin rotating quarterbacks, kind of went back to the old school look, but we'll see what they come out with here tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Wilkerson, just a super football player, and Wildcats will really have to pay attention to him on defense tonight.
He's very athletic and can run like crazy. Hahn, he can run and is more the power side of that duo, and we've seen success out of both of those young men at the quarterback position. Bodie Rose coming off a huge night last Friday night, ran for 132 yards and 5 touchdowns as the quarterback for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great night. I wasn't there, of course, but I was keeping up. I was paying attention, and yeah, just an outstanding night for Rose last week. And you know, games like that give players confidence, and we'll see what happens when we roll into tonight's game.
Now the team captains gathering with the head coaches, getting ready to meet with the officials for the coin toss. Coach Clay Weldy gathering his captains over here on the sidelines as they are getting ready to go out onto the field. And of course it's Joseph Ryder, Bryson Jacobson, Bodie Rose, and Joseph Kraft, team captains for Cassville. Coach Jared Beshore gathering his captains on the far side of the field. And looks like he's got a bunch of his big linemen over there, going to bring them out as team captains. And they will have the coin toss. Tonight's coin toss brought to you by the Clark Center. They have offices in Dade, Berry, and Lawrence counties. Go to www.clarkmentalhealth.com to find the phone number for services in your area. Clark Community Mental Health Center, moving forward, improving lives and communities through compassion and care. Wind coming out of the northwest right now. The clouds are starting to roll in from that direction as well. And we've still got some pretty decent gusts coming out of the northwest, which is coming out of the north end zone. Temperatures will start dropping a little bit now that the sun has went down. We're still hovering around 58 to 60 degrees, which isn't nearly as bad as what they were saying earlier in the week. But with that wind, it definitely feels a little chillier for the fans in attendance here tonight. And hopefully the wind will die down a little bit as we play on here this evening from Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. We'll see who will be able to take advantage of that wind to start tonight's ball game. As the referee meeting with the captains, and Cassville has won the toss and they have deferred their option to the second half. So Lamar will be getting the football to start the first quarter, and Cassville will be kicking with the wind at their back. So the Tigers will be going into that northerly breeze here in quarter number one. We're going to take one more quick break. Well, no, let's not. We're down to only a minute before the kickoff. Better not try to squeeze one in. We'll probably get bit if we try to do that.
Might miss that opening kickoff, Sammy. Wildcats are going to come out here. Number one, Lamar's a big play capable team for sure with the speed they possess. This opening kickoff is going to set the tone a little bit tonight. And then this Wildcat defense got to be disciplined tonight, and there'll be some misdirection they're dealing with, but they really have to trust their technique and tackle when they get to these ball carriers.
Tonight's first quarter brought to you as always by Michael's Hardware, 186 Sale Barn Road in Cassville. For your project questions, call Michael's. Friendly folks, serious hardware. Hey, we're still a couple of weeks away from Halloween, too. If you're still looking for some fall decorating items, stop by. They may still have some mums or some pumpkins for you. So drop by Michael's Hardware, 186 Sale Barn Road in Cassville. All right, who do we have dropping back for Lamar? Over there on the far side of the field, we've got on the near side, Adam Klusman, and on the far side, Aiden Sheet. They will be awaiting the kick of Ashton Wheeler. Wheeler and Malachi Vincent trade off on the kicking duties for Cassville. And Wheeler will be kicking off to get the game started here this evening. Wildcats with the wind at their back. Lights are already starting to take full effect with the sun been down for a little while. Gets darker and earlier as we progress through the season. Got a fresh 12 minutes on the clock, and we are just about ready to get this Big 8 West matchup underway. Wheeler approaches and kicks a line drive down the middle of the field, scooped up back at the 24-yard line. He gets by the first man, gets through the first wave, and takes it out close to the 40. That was Logan Kish, the return man. He keeps the legs churning and gets second effort all the way out to the 45. There was no whistle at the 40, and Kish just kept pounding with the football and picks up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hunter Morse came flying through there, put the first shot on Kish. Kish was able to stay on his feet and just keep fighting for that extra yardage, but Morse was like a heat-seeking missile flying down there, Sammy.
So the Lamar Tigers with good starting field position on their opening drive tonight at their own 45. And the ball is snapped back to Wilkerson around the left end. Goes the running back Chase Query, and he is going to take it to the house on the very first play. He dives for the goal line touchdown as Colton Roark, trying to run him down from behind, got to him at the 5 and grabbed a hold, but Query's momentum broke the plane, and Lamar scores on the very first play of the night.
A misdirection in the backfield. Query taking the ball, going from right to left, right around that left edge. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, it was just jets all the way to the end zone. Roark nearly caught him, but touchdown, big play to start this football game.
So a 55-yard run for Chase Query, and the Tigers are out in front. Now the point after, the kick is up. It's another tradition Lamar has. They usually got a lineman doing the kicking duties, and it is Jose Juarez, and the senior straight-on kicker boots it through, and we're 19 seconds into the football game, and Lamar leads it 7-0. One thing we did not talk about was the big play capabilities of the Lamar Tigers, but we saw it there on the first snap of the football.
Yeah, we brought it up just briefly. Maybe we should have talked about it a little bit more, but there's just so much speed over on that sideline, and we saw it right there as Query. Once he got around that left edge, man, he just got through the secondary, and it was off to the races.
Kyle Bailey, Colton Ruark, dropping back deep. Trying to morph those two young men into one player there. They'll be back at their own 5. Lamar will be kicking into the wind. And it will be Chase Query now doing the kicking duties after he just ran it in for 55 yards out. Kicks it off the left hash, and the ball is fielded by one of the up men. Had the ball deflect off his shoulder pad, but then he reached around and grabbed a hold, and I believe that was Riley James over there, or was it?
Samuel.
Nope, that was Mason Bryan. It was not 8, it was 6 as he comes over to the sideline. So Mason Bryan securing the ball for the Wildcats, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 34.
A decent field position to start for the Wildcats here.
So Cassville with the ball first time offensively here tonight. Bodie Rose brings his team up to the line of scrimmage, hands the ball off to the second man. A big hit right at the line of scrimmage. He fights forward out to the 35-yard line. As that was Bryson Jacobson, the ball carrier. He picks up 1, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
A tough yard right there for Jacobson, straight downhill. Big collision right in the hole. Jacobson able to fall ahead for a yard. Big shot.
Yeah, even with the wind and our headsets on, you could hear the pads popping on that one. Cassville sends twin receivers to the right. They've got a single receiver out to the left. Lamar with a 4-man front. The ball is pitched back to Jacobson, trying to get a block from Bailey. Cuts the edge, gets out to the 40-yard line, and is taken down there after nearly a 5-yard pickup.
Well, a great cut there by Jacobson, taking that toss sweep right around the left edge. Made a cut, nearly broke a huge run right there. One of the Tiger defenders had him around the waist to bring him down, but not a bad run there for Jacobson.
So 3rd down and 4 now facing Cassville at their own 40-yard line. First 3rd down conversion try of the night for the Wildcats. Bailey and Jacobson stay split in the backfield behind Bodie Rose. They go with single receivers right and left. Rose looking to throw, dumps it over. He's got the tight end. Catch is made at the 45. He takes it across midfield into Tiger territory for a 1st down. Cosmo Rhodes moving the chains for the Wildcats. The 1st down brought to you by Superior Metal. Find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com.
A great little play call right there, a little toss sweep on the fake from Rose. Rhodes came dragging across from the backside, got past the linebackers. A good throw leading him out there in the flat from Rose. Cosmo Rhodes catches it, turns the corner, picks up a big 1st down. Those are things like that the Wildcats are going to have to execute to stay in this ball game.
It's a gain of 18. 1st and 10 Cassville at the Lamar 42-yard line. Bodie Rose going to run the football, gets through the line of scrimmage, bouncing off contact, keeps the legs moving, and gets an extra yard or 2. Good strong run there by Bodie Rose after 2 or 3 Lamar Tiger defenders were hanging all over him. He is able to take it down to the 38 for a pickup of 4.
Well, we've gotten pretty used to seeing how Rose runs the football, and it's very hard. And Wildcats have a couple of different backs that run that way, but there's no quitting Rose when he takes off with that football.
So 2nd down and 6.5, close to 7 yards for Cassville. Wildcats in Tiger territory. They give the ball to Bailey. He gets his first carry of the night, gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, but is able to slip loose from that tackle and move it ahead to the 36 and pick up maybe a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Trying to go off right tackle right there. Really nowhere to go for Bailey. He was able to hit the brakes and cut back against the grain, but tough running inside there.
So guess what? Another 3rd down and 4, just like last time. Riley James brings the play in from the sidelines. 8:55 left to play here in the opening quarter. Cassville trailing 7-0. Lamar scoring on their very first play from scrimmage tonight. Cassville has moved the ball to the Tiger 36, facing 3rd down and short. Rose from the shotgun, looks right, now he's going to run. Trying to get to the outside, Lamar misses a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Rose is fighting for extra yards and appears to have the 1st down. He's taken down on the far sideline, and it is a 1st down for Cassville.
Great job there by Rose. It was designed quarterback run out of the shotgun. He took the snap, pump faked, and then just took off. And a really nice job. The way he ran with the knees high, got out of a couple of ankle tackles, was able to work his way over to the Tiger sideline, pick up a huge first down. We talked about the Wildcats staying out of 3rd and longs today. They've been in a couple of 3rd and 4s, and those are manageable.
Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. Call for a free quote, 888-364-9527. Rose this time fakes to both running backs, dumps it off, and a catch is made by Jacobson coming out of the backfield. He'll race down the sidelines and take it all the way inside the 15 and pick up another Cassville first down.
Hey, nice play again. This time Rose rolling to his left, able to outrun a defender, get the shoulder squared a little bit, dumped it out there to Jacobson. Jacobson got out in the flat, caught the ball a little bit over his shoulder. Nice catch, and another big first down for the Wildcats.
It's a gain of 14 to Bryson Jacobson. Cassville first down brought to you by Superior Metal, their first in color selection. Check out their gallery at superiormetalsalesinc.com. Twin receivers this time out to the right side. Rose gives the ball to Jacobson, going back to the short side of the field, and he is stacked up after a short gain. May have gotten a yard. We'll see where they spot the football. They're still umpiling players, and they're going to put it right back down at the 13, so no gain, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, not much room for Jacobson there. The Wildcats have done a good job in this series of mixing the run and pass and the short passing game, little intermediate routes, short passes out in the flat to the running backs. That's just as good as running the football, and the Wildcats have done a nice job so far.
6:59 left to play first quarter. Cassville trailing 7-0. Wildcats with the ball, 2nd down and 10 inside the Tiger 15. Here comes Rose, and this time he's caught from behind and brought down for a loss. Mario De La Pena got into the backfield and grabbed a hold of Bodie Rose and drops him back at the 15 for a loss of 2.
Wildcats trying to run that quarterback sweep with Rose following blockers around the edge. Immediately through the line of scrimmage, Rose was wrapped up and brought down in the backfield. No chance.
So 3rd down and 12 now for Cassville. Well, they had a couple of 3rd down and shorts they were able to convert. 3rd down and 12 here. Rose rolling to his right, looking to throw. Pressure coming from the big defensive end, Wooldridge. He stands at 6'4". Bodie Rose tucks it and runs to the sidelines. Is going to be forced out of play shy of the 10, and it'll bring up 4th down. We'll see where they spot the football once they bring it back out to the hash. Looks like they're going to put it down at the 12. He was able to gain 3 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 9.
Well, smart play there by Rose, looking to throw the football. He wanted to go in the end zone, and just the coverage was just too good, but a smart play by Rose to eat the football and pick up what he could.
Well, Ashton Wheeler is coming in with the kicking tee. He's got enough leg, and then he's got the wind at his back, so he's kicking from the right hash, and that will be the hitch in the play. He's going to have to hook it just a little bit to draw it back towards the middle of the field. We'll see what happens on this field goal attempt. Snap back, ball down, got plenty of leg. Did it get through the uprights? No, he hooked it a little bit too much as it went wide to the left, and that's always the hard part when you got to hook it and the wind is already pushing the ball. How much do you try to hook it? And that one went a little too much.
Hooked it a little too much, but he just drilled it. Plenty of leg on the kick. But unfortunately for the Wildcats, no points in that series. But what that does for the Wildcats, they had an established drive, drove the football down the field, picked up 2 or 3 first downs. So that gives the offense some confidence that they can move the football a little bit against this Tiger defense.
So Cassville turns it over after the missed field goal, and the Tigers will take over deep in their own territory. Man comes in motion. Snap goes back to Wilkerson. The handoff goes to that motion man, and he is grabbed from behind in the backfield. Great job on the play by the Cassville defense, as that was one of the linebackers
Hunter
getting
Morse
in there and dropping the ball carrier for a loss back at the 19.
Hunter Morse in pursuit. Followed the ball carrier as he caught it on the jet sweep. Morse shot through. Great job of making a tackle in that backfield.
And that was another new ball carrier. That was Carson Sturgill. And it's a loss of 1 for Sturgill. 2nd down and 11 for the Tigers. Now you've got Cooper Hahn and Austin Wilkerson back at quarterback. And Hahn takes the snap. He's going to try to run the football. Gets it across the 20 out to the 22, maybe the 23. And I said Austin Wilkerson. It's Alex Wilkerson. Austin's his older brother. He's already graduated. Got to keep those Wilkerson boys straight sometimes. And Hahn is able to pick up close to 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
A great opportunity here for this Wildcat defense to get the Tigers off the field. 3rd and long situation. Tackle for loss on 1st, and then a nice job of short gain there on 2nd down.
Man in motion. Ball is snapped to Hahn. He gives it off to Query, who's got the big touchdown run. Query trying to get to the outside, and he is going to be strung out to the sidelines and dropped at the 31, but that will be enough to just barely pick up the 1st down.
Similar play to the touchdown run for Query. Wildcats do a much better job defending it. Even though they gave up the 1st down, they were able to stretch it, as you said, towards that Tiger sideline and bring him down.
So the Tigers able to convert as they pick up just an extra yard on that carry than what was needed to move the chains. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 32. Cassville showing blitz. Little miscommunication in the backfield. One of the guys run into one of the motion men and tripped up for a loss is Logan Kish back at the 29.
A good job on the defensive front of the Wildcats, creating some havoc in there. I believe that was Sizemore that was the first man into the legs of the Tiger quarterback. Really nice job up front there.
They stay with Wilkerson and Hahn at quarterback. It's not quite the old traditional double wing like you were used to seeing 10, 12 years ago, because they've got receivers spread out. Now they break out of the double quarterback and go to the shotgun. Wilkerson was wanting to pass, but whistles sound, and I believe the Tigers are having a little difficulty getting everybody in the right spot, and they call for a timeout. So the clock stops with 3:40 left to go here in the opening quarter. Lamar leading 7-0. Timeout on the field brought to you by Security Bank. If you want mobile banking, ATM, multiple branches, and all types of loans, and still be able to go into the lobby and see your personal banker, you just described Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. Take time out to look at Security Bank, member FDIC. Tonight's first quarter brought to you by Michael's Hardware. Let them quarterback your project with the right tools and supplies for the job. Michael's Hardware, friendly folks, serious hardware. 7-0 Lamar. They're facing 2nd down and nearly 13 to go at their own 29-yard line. Tigers scored on their very first play from scrimmage. Cassville then took it 11 plays, took 5.5 minutes off the clock, marched it all the way down to the 12. Tried a 29-yard field goal from the right hash, but the ball hooked a little bit wide to the left. And the Tigers have moved it back out to their 29 after taking over at their own 20. Twin receivers to the right. Wilkerson fakes a handoff, looking to throw. He's got a man deep. It's Query. Query's gotten behind the secondary, makes the catch at the 30, and he will once again take it to the end zone for the touchdown.
Situation there where the secondary got caught peeking into that backfield a little bit, and with the speed of Query, he just ran right by. Great throw, hit Query right in stride and into the end zone. 2nd big play touchdown for Query.
71-yard touchdown from Alex Wilkerson to Chase Query. Query's got both TDs, one rushing and now one receiving, and Lamar adds to their lead. Jose Juarez will come in to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Trent Torbeck, and the kick is up, and it is good. 3:31 now left to play in the opening quarter, and Lamar leads 14-0.
Another impressive thing about that pass, that's into this wind. Wilkerson threw the ball probably 30, maybe nearly 40 yards in the air.
Almost 40 yards.
And Query ran right underneath it, just right in stride, dropped it right in his hands, and off to the races he went.
Yeah, because you're not only having to lead the receiver, but you're also having to adjust for the wind that's a crosswind. And he put it right in Query's hands, right in stride, and he took it the final 30 yards for the touchdown. So a 71-yard strike to go along with the 55-yard touchdown. And the Tigers out by 2 scores here with a little over 3.5 minutes left to go in quarter number 1.
You know, the old saying about speed, Sammy, is if you don't have it, you're chasing it, and Wildcats have been forced to chase a little bit of speed here early in this game. Mario
Della Pena comes in to kick it away. Bailey and Roark back at their own 5 awaiting the kick. This one gets up in the air. Last one was a line drive. This one Bailey's going to haul in at his own 10-yard line. Trying to get back to the middle of the field. Now he's looking for the blocks. Takes it all the way across the field. Turns upfield at the 20 and brings it out across the 20 to the 22. And that's where Cassville will take over on their second possession of the night.
Bailey ran a long way with that football all the way across the field towards that Tiger sideline before he was brought down.
The nose of the football is actually touching the 23, so we'll call it the 23-yard line for the Wildcats with 3:23 left to go here in quarter number 1. Roark comes wide to the left. Kraft goes wide to the right. Split backfield. They've got a man in the slot. That's Cosmo Rhodes. Now Bodie Rose is going to run the football. Makes a man miss at the 25. Makes another man miss at the 30 and takes it out to the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Nice run on first down by the quarterback for the Wildcats, Bodie Rose, as he is able to just barely be short of that first down. I started to say they were going to give him the first down, but then they look to the sidelines and they say, nope, he's about a half a yard short.
Very close. Big hole opened up on the left side there for Rose to run through. Once he got through the line of scrimmage, made a nice move on the linebacker. Nice gain. Success on first down is huge.
So second down and inches for the Wildcats. Rose fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, has the first down as he moves across the 35 out to the 36-yard line. Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. They're first in all your farm building needs. Find them online for examples of what they can custom build for you. SuperiorMetalSalesInc.com.
This Wildcat offense so far has been able to move the football in the middle of the football field between the 20s. And while they have the football, that means this Tiger offense does not. Sometimes your best defense is a good offense.
First and 10, Cassville at their own 36. Rose looking to throw. He dumps it down the middle of the field. He's got Roark, and he overthrows the intended receiver just by a little bit. Roark had gotten inside of Chase Query, but the ball sailed a little bit, and it'll go incomplete. Second down and 10.
Yeah, sometimes when you've got the wind at your back, that happens too. If he just had hung on just a half a beat longer or put a little more air under it, you're right. Roark had a couple of steps on the defender, but the ball falls incomplete. Missed opportunity right there. They'd like to have it back.
So 2 minutes now left to play here in the first quarter. Cassville down 14-0. Lamar staying with the 4-man defensive front with the 3-man linebacking core. Cassville goes twin receivers to the right. Bodie Rose going to run that direction. A flag comes out in the Cassville backfield, and Rose is stacked up for no gain. And we'll see what the flag's all about.
Might have been a little early movement in the backfield of the Wildcats there.
Yeah, got a little motion against Cassville, and that's the first penalty flag of the night. And it'll back the Wildcats up 5 yards.
They may.
Are they going to? Yep, they're going to mark it off. It was an illegal shift, to be precise. So that'll move it back to the 31 now. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Lamar with the 14-0 lead. So Cassville now facing second down and 15.
Cassville taking their time coming out of the huddle here. The play coming in from the sideline.
Play clock's down to 10 seconds. They're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit.
Got to be aware of that play clock. As Rose looks up, he sees it, tries to hurry the offense to the line.
Clock down to 2. They snap the ball with 1. Rose looking to throw down the middle. He's got Bailey, and the ball sails again. Bailey got hit downfield at the 50-yard line by one of the linebackers, T.J. Ansley. Cassville was looking maybe for a flag, didn't get the call, and it's going to bring up third down.
Well, he certainly got tangled up in the middle of the football field there. Don't know if they're trying to say that was incidental or what. The ball a little overthrown again. The wind behind the football, it certainly looks like it's affecting the deep ball for Rose right here.
Cassville converted on their first 2 third down conversion tries, then didn't on their last one. This will be their 4th conversion attempt here in the opening quarter. Third down and 15. Rose from the shotgun sends Jacobson in motion, and now we've got a whistle and a timeout called by the Wildcats. As Cassville going to talk things over here, facing third down and about 16 to go. Wildcat timeout brought to you by Security Bank. Everyone has debit cards and ATMs, mobile banking, but at Security Bank of Cassville, Exeter, and Wheaton, you sit across from a neighbor and a decision maker. Security Bank, all the newest banking features with the same hometown service, member FDIC. 14-0, Lamar with the lead, 91 seconds left to go in quarter number one. Tonight's first quarter brought to you by Michael's Hardware. They'll give you your to-do list, a game plan that's sure to be a winner. Michael's Hardware, friendly folks, serious hardware. And your Wildcat broadcast team is brought to you by Les Jacobs Ford. Proud to be your one-stop shop for new Ford vehicles, quality pre-owned, certified service, and OEM parts, along with comprehensive collision repair. Thank you, Southwest Missouri and Northwest Arkansas, for 25 great years. Les Jacobs Ford in Cassville. So here we go, third down and long for Cassville, the ball at their own 31. Rose fakes the handoff, dumps it off, and the catch is made by Rhodes, and Cosmo Rhodes takes it out to the 41-yard line. They get a good chunk of the yardage needed for the first down, but they're going to come up about 5 yards short.
Another nice play call there by the Wildcats, and another good job by Rhodes catching the football, dragging across from that backside. A little play action in the backfield from the quarterback. Delivers it out there nicely. Good job. Nice play, just not quite enough here.
It was a gain of 10. They needed 15, so fourth down, and Cassville forced to punt for the first time tonight. Bodie Rose to kick it away. A couple of return men. Query back there at his own 20-yard line. This one kind of goes off the side of his foot, bounces at the 45 of the Tigers, and then takes a Cassville roll. It gets on its edge and starts rolling down the middle of the field, which is a good thing for the Wildcats after the short kick. And it finally goes dead back at the Lamar 26.
Yeah, ball came off that foot awful funny. Nearly, it looked like he didn't kick the fat part of the football really. But he got a nice roll, going to send the Tigers back in their own territory to start this drive.
So 39.6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and the Tigers will have it at their own 26. 33-yard kick, no return for Rose. Hahn and Wilkerson, again, lined up as dual quarterbacks. They reset Aiden Sheet, wide receiver, out to the right side. Now a flag comes in from the side judge on the far side of the field as we got movement and offsides against the Tigers. First flag against Lamar, that penalty against the Tigers. Brought to you by Extreme Graphics and Window Tinting at 701 Mill Street in Cassville. For window tinting, decals, wraps and accessories and more, it's Extreme Graphics and Window Tinting. So that'll back them up 5 yards, and they fake the handoff to Query, and Cooper Hahn brings it right back up the middle of the field, out across the 25 to the 27, maybe the 28, as he is able to pick up about 6 or 7 yards.
Query coming in motion, commands attention from this Wildcat defense. Hahn keeps it this time after the fake and lowers the shoulder once through the line of scrimmage. Very physical run. Talked about Hahn being the more physical of the two quarterbacks, and we saw it right there.
So it's a gain of 7. Second down and 8. Query in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Wilkerson with the ball. Under pressure. Has to get rid of it quickly, and he underthrows the intended receiver, Logan Kish, as the Cassville defense, Isaac Pickett along with others, all back there in the quarterback's face.
Pretty good job there by Wilkerson to sidestep one defender, but the second defender, trying to get a number, was able to get in and wrap him up and force the errant throw, but big-time pressure by the Wildcat defense right there.
That will be the final play of quarter number 1 as we head to the second quarter. Lamar leads Cassville by a score of 14-0. We'll step aside, be back with quarter number 2. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you for the second quarter. Tonight's second quarter brought to you by Roark Diesel, just north of Cassville on Highway 37. They're the leader in the region for diesel performance. Find them online at roarkdiesel.com. Wilkerson looking to throw at the wind at his back now. Lofts one up in the air, throws it up for grabs, trying to go to Cooper Hahn. Good coverage downfield by Colton Roark, and the ball sailed out of play, falls incomplete, and it'll bring up fourth down.
So good pressure that time by Rhodes. A 6'5" frame got in the face of Wilkerson, forced the errant throw. Wilkerson ended up on the ground. So, as a defender, getting hits on the quarterback, make him a little uncomfortable back there, helps every time.
So Query in to punt the ball away. Line drive kick. Dakota Bowen back at his own 37-yard line. Starts right, goes back left, and is tripped up just shy of the 45.
Nice job by Bowen right there, stepping up and catching that football, end over end punt. If that ball hits the ground, it's going to roll for a long way. May roll in the end zone, but really nice job to save that field position by Bowen.
They are going to put the ball down at the Cassville 43-yard line with 11:47 left to play here in the first half. Cassville trailing 14-0. Bodie Rose going to run the option to the wide side of the field, and he is swarmed under before he can get back to the 45. He's going to be dropped for no gain on the play.
A big-time pursuit by the Tiger defense. Wildcats running that option around the right edge, and Rose trying to make something happen, and wow, just big-time pursuit.
By the way, that forced punt by the Wildcat defense brought to you by CS Bank. CS Bank, from cars to cows, they can handle your personal or commercial needs. Second down and 10 for the Wildcats. Bodie Rose under center is going to keep it himself, and again he's hit. And this time he's able to spin off contact, get it out to the 45 for a pickup of a couple, but it's going to bring up third down and long.
And he's taken some shots this last two plays and got up a little slower this time, and that's one thing, playing against a big physical football team, man, your guys, they take big shots, and Rose is a tough kid. He's going to keep playing hard, I'll tell you that.
Riley James goes wide to the left along with Colton Roark. Bailey and Jacobson split in the backfield. Bodie Rose pitches the ball to Bryson Jacobson. Around the left end he goes, makes a cutback move, takes it out to the 46, gains the 47, maybe to the 48. Going to come up short of the first down, though, and it's going to bring up fourth down for the Wildcats. It's a gain of 3 for Jacobson.
Jacobson been dealing with that high ankle sprain all season after that run, hobbling off to the sideline here. And just one of those injuries that just take the only thing that'll heal it is rest. And, you get hurt early in a season like that and keep trying to play, it's just going to plague you the entire time.
So Bodie Rose into punt, this time punting into the wind. Chase Query back deep, snaps a good one. The punt angling towards the right sideline, bounces at the 21, picked up back at the 17 by Query. Query makes a man miss, and he is up the middle of the field. He's across the 40, across the 45, breaks a tackle at the 50. He's got one man to beat, and Chase Query does it again. He's caught a pass, he's run for a touchdown, and now he returns a punt for a touchdown. And the Wildcats see the Tigers extend their lead to 20-0.
Just a big-time play right there. Takes the punt off the bounce, able to survey the field just a little bit, and just like a rocket, shot right down the field, broke a couple of arm tackles, and then just split the defenders off to the races all the way across the field and into the end zone.
An 83-yard punt return for Chase Query. And now the extra point try is up, and it is good by Jose Juarez. And 9:22 left to go in the first half. Lamar leads 21-0.
Chase Query having a day out here. And I don't really know what to say about it at this point. Just blazing speed, power, able to break those tackles. And that was as an impressive punt return, as you'll see, he just ran kind of right through the coverage unit, splitting defenders. They didn't get the angles on him, and he just outran everyone once he got to about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and the ball took a big hop. You got to give him some credit just to step up into the mess and field the ball, because he didn't want it to continue rolling because it was angled down the sideline, and it probably would have rolled all the way inside the 10, and he didn't want that to happen. So he jumped in there and fielded it on a big hop between a couple of Cassville players, and once he got through that initial wall, he got back to the middle of the field and then broke a tackle out around the 40-yard line, and then it was off to the races.
Yeah, he's certainly a player you can't afford to give a step to, because he's going to outrun you every time.
Della Pena now kicking the ball off for the Tigers, angles it towards the far sideline. It bounces and is picked up back at the 10 by Kyle Bailey. Kyle Bailey trying to bring it back across the field. A flag is thrown out around the 15-yard line. Bailey brought down at the 13. And that flag is not in a good spot if you're a Wildcat fan, because Bailey was trying to bring it back to this side and pick up a few blocks, and that is right in the area where that flag is thrown. Somebody may have got into the back or may have held somebody. We'll see what it's about. They're calling a personal foul against Cassville.
Wow. So
it's worse than what I thought. That will put Cassville in a hole after they mark off the 15 yards.
Illegal blindside block against the Wildcats is the call.
They call an illegal blindside block, and it takes it all the way back to the 7. 9:15 left to go here in the first half. Cassville trailing 21-0, and now backed up inside their own 10. So we were talking about in the pregame protecting the football. You're really going to have to protect it down here.
Here is the area, certainly. The Wildcats need to try to put something together right here, get back on track.
Bodie Rose hands the ball off to Bailey. Bailey brings it back between the tackles, powers his way out close to the 10-yard line. Good hard run and a gain of nearly 3 yards. It'll bring up second down.
Wildcats did a good job in the first drive of this game, mixing the run and pass, and worked the ball down the field. Since that point, the Tigers have been very stingy on defense.
Second down and a long 7 for Cassville. The nose of the football touching the 10-yard line. We're down to 8:40 and counting left to play here in the first half. Lamar leading 21-0. Bodie Rose sends twin receivers to the right, one man out to the left. He throws to that man, and it looked like they may have had the little hitch and pitch going on there.
Sure did.
And Colton Roark went up in the air, got hit, the ball deflected up in the air, and somebody got their hands underneath it before it touched the ground, and the Tigers come up with a turnover on the interception.
Diving interception. Great play, but you're right, the Wildcats had the hook and ladder set up as Bailey was streaking out there. Ball sailed on Rose. Roark went up as high as he could, was just able to tip the football. If they complete that pass and the pitch, Bailey is down the sideline. But the Tigers find a way to intercept the football off the tip. What a play.
So Lamar takes over at the Cassville 14. Wilkerson with the football. Nope, correction. They fake the ball to Wilkerson and give it to Logan Kish. And Kish, running behind a wall of blockers, takes it down close to the 10. They'll give him 4 yards on the carry, and it'll bring up second down.
Wildcats have their backs against the wall right here. Tigers come up with a big interception and looking to expand this lead.
Alex Wilkerson now the only quarterback. Got a couple of receivers out wide to the left. Kish goes in motion. Wilkerson going to run it himself, trying to weave in behind a couple of offensive linemen. Now they try to get the rugby scrum going. They're trying the old Philadelphia Eagle tush-push there. As a bunch of guys got behind Wilkerson and just kept shoving him forward, and they push him down to the 5, and it'll bring up third down and 1.
Just a mass of bodies there, and the Wildcats held their own and did not let them into the end zone.
So Lamar 1 for 2 on third down conversion tries tonight. This one third down and 1. Wilkerson and Hahn both in the backfield now, lined up at the dual quarterback. Snap goes to Hahn. Hahn is hammered as he gets the football and tries to spin off a block. And a big hit there. Trying to see who come up off the bottom of the pile. I think that was Isaac Pickett, but not 100% sure. It's a loss of a couple back to the 7.
Well, just a really nice play. He was able to knife between two offensive linemen, get in the backfield. Big-time play in this position on the football field.
It was Pickett. I can see him now. He was the one that was able to get between a couple of linemen and get to Cooper Hahn. So now it is 4th down and nearly 3.5 to go. And Lamar lining up to go for it once again. This time they snap the ball to Kish. Kish trying to get to the edge, slips a tackle at the 5, dives to the end zone, touchdown Lamar. Kish made a man miss just after he got past the line of scrimmage and then found the end zone for the first player other than Chase Query to get into the end zone tonight for the Tigers.
Well, tough. That's a tall order to ask your defense to stop this Tiger offense with the short field, and they made them earn it, having to score on 4th down there, but nonetheless they do find the end zone again.
So 6:20 left to go in the first half. 27-0 now, Tigers. Juarez in to attempt the point after. Snaps a little high, but the holder gets it down on the tee. Torbeck places it there, and the kick by Juarez is good. 28-0 Lamar with 6:20 left to go in the first half. After 4-play, 14-yard drive. Gets the ball into the end zone for the Tigers.
Well, 28-0 here, and the Wildcats in this first half, they're just a little shell-shocked with the speed they've seen out on the football field tonight, I think. And they've played some teams with speed, but this Tiger team, especially Chase Query, I don't know that I've seen a player run like that this season against the Wildcats.
Tonight's second quarter brought to you by Roark Diesel. Since 2006, they've been providing Cassville and the surrounding area with a huge selection of diesel performance products. You can find them online at roarkdiesel.com. Give them a call at 847-6560 or drop by Roark Diesel just north of Cassville on Highway 37. Dela Pena will kick it away for the Tigers. Gets a good leg into this one, drives it deep. Bailey fields it back at his 5, and correction, that was not Bailey, that was Dakota Bowen. Not 21, but number 2, and Bowen brings it back out to the 16-yard line, and that's where Cassville will start the drive.
Wildcat offense coming back on the field. A little over 6 minutes to go until halftime here. Looking to get something going. They really haven't been able to since that first series of the night where they moved the ball pretty well against this Tiger defense.
Held the ball for 5.5 minutes. Their second possession, they had to punt it after a 3-minute drive. But then only a 2-minute drive on the next possession, and then the turnover on the following possession. So they keep getting shorter. This time they give it to Bailey. Bailey with nice second effort, takes it across the 20 out to the 21. Picks up an extra yard or so on the carry, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Bailey able to break a couple of tackles there on the run. A little toss sweep around the right edge. Good hard run.
There's one thing you will get from Kyle Bailey every time he touches a football is a hard run. He takes it right at the defense every time. Split backfield, Jacobson along with Bailey. Rose from under center. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, tries to bounce outside the tackle, and is dropped for no gain on the play.
Got nowhere for Rose to go right there. Again, trying to run the option a little bit, faking to that fullback, and those defenders running right by the fullback. 2 of them were able to wrap up Rose and bring him down.
So 3rd down and 6 now facing Cassville. 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. Lamar leading 28-0. Wildcats at their own 21-yard line. Bodie Rose looking to throw. Steps up and launches one. He's got Roark, and the ball goes over the outside shoulder of Roark. He had a defender back there behind him, but the ball Gets over the head of both Query and Roark, incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You got to think the wind may have affected the flight of the football a little bit, the way Roark reacted to it. He got a little bit turned around. He had a step on the defender. We got just a little bit turned around at the end of the pass play right there, not able to secure the football.
So Cassville forced to punt once again. Bodie Rose gets the kick away down the Cassville sideline, bounces at the 46 and checks up and goes out of bounds. That one did not get the roll like the previous 2 punts Rose had kicked tonight. As that one hit and bounced sideways. And Lamar's going to get the ball in Cassville territory. They're going to spot it down at the Wildcat 48.
Yeah, the wind blowing across the field, the same angle that Rose was trying to work the sideline there.
So it ends up being only a 27-yard kick. No return. Tiger football at the Cassville 48. Kish goes in motion. Wilkerson takes the snap, fakes the handoff to him, looking to throw. Now he's under pressure, forced out of the pocket. Flag comes out. Wilkerson lets her fly. He's got Query open at the 35. He is forced out of bounds at the 30, but we've got a flag in the Tiger backfield.
Yeah, there's going to be a holding in the backfield as Wilkerson was trying to get away from Joseph Ryder, who had busted through there, putting all kinds of pressure on him. So that flag was thrown pretty deep in the backfield. That's going to take him way on back.
Forced penalty against the Tigers, brought to you by Extreme Graphics and Window Tinting at 701 Mill Street in Cassville. If you want to make your ride cooler, head over to Extreme Graphics. Got a line of scrimmage was the Cassville 48. The flag's thrown back at the 44 of Lamar. So it will officially go down as a 10-yard penalty, but then you've got another 10 yards or close to it. So that one's somewhere between 15 and 20 yards altogether.
Well, they marked it from the line of scrimmage, though.
Well, yeah, now they put it at the 42. You're exactly right. Not from where the flag was thrown. So that's interesting. Cassville showing blitz. Thompson comes up. Another flag comes out as the handoff goes to Kish, and Kish is upended. Great job by Tristan Thompson for Cassville, along with, I believe that was Hunter Morse, wasn't it? It was Morse in there to get into the legs of Kish, and we got an illegal shift called against Lamar. That penalty is declined, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 22 to go for the Tigers.
As some of our referees in the stands are noticing what we noticed a moment ago, that the penalty was
not marked off from the flag, but from the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
So 2nd down in a bundle for the Tigers. Snap goes to Hahn. Inside handoff goes to Kish. Kish trying to get to the outside, gets cut off, and then is brought down. Pickett, Bryan, Thompson, all there for Cassville, and a flag comes out after the play, and hopefully that's not a little extracurricular against the Wildcats, because they had Kish all bottled up for no gain.
Yeah, great defensive play there.
And it is against Cassville.
All for naught.
It won't give Lamar the 1st down, but it'll give them a big chunk of it, of the yardage they needed, as it moves it to the Wildcat 43.
You just hate that when you have a big-time defensive play and a silly penalty like that gives a big chunk of yardage back.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5, so instead of facing 2nd down and 20-something, well, actually 3rd down and 5, excuse me, 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers now at the Cassville 43. Quick pass, and that one in and out of the hands of Query. Query was thinking another touchdown, and he did not secure the football. All he had to do was catch it, and he would have been gone.
He was gone. There was serious miscommunication in the secondary there. It looked like Roark, the corner on that side, he was expecting some safety help there, and the safety had not shifted over at all. Query would have walked into the end zone on that play.
So Cassville catches a huge break right there, as it was just a little quick slant, And Query saw all that open field ahead of him and didn't catch the football. The officials getting together and having a little conference in the Lamar backfield right now with 3:37 left to go in the first half. Lamar leading 28-0. Tigers facing 3rd down and 5. Alex Wilkerson at quarterback. They took the rotating quarterback Cooper Hahn and put him over in the slot on the right side right now, and I thought that was 4th down. So it is 4th down and 5. And the officiating crew explaining things right now to the coaching staff as the referee over talking with Coach Beshore right now.
2 officials standing right over the football.
Not sure what all the discussion is about, but
they're verifying it's 4th down.
Okay. So 4th and 5. Lamar is lined up to go for it at the Cassville 43. Wilkerson with the snap. Quick pass down the sideline. Query makes the catch at the 35-yard line, which was good enough for the first down, and then he spins it up the sideline for an extra 2 or 3 as Lamar will keep the drive alive.
Nice play call, good execution right there. You know what you have to get. Your receiver runs his route a yard or 2 beyond the yardage he needs and turns around. The ball is right there. Quick play set up right on the Tiger sideline.
It's a gain of 10. 1st and 10 Lamar at the Cassville 33 as they convert their 2nd 4th down of the night. Hahn comes in motion. He gets the handoff from Wilkerson. Tries to get a block at the edge. Nobody there, and a nice open field tackle by Dakota Bowen. He come up and got into the legs of Cooper Hahn and turned what would have been a big gain into a shorter pickup of only about 5 yards.
Yeah, really nice job by Bowen to come up in run support there and get into the legs of the ball carrier to bring him down out on the edge. Basically open field tackle there.
He actually gets a little better spot than what I thought. They put it down at the 27, so it's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 Tigers. We're down to 2.5 left to go in the first half. Lamar leading 28-0. They go back to Hahn and Wilkerson, dual quarterbacks. Bring Query in motion. Kish collides with Query. Hahn's going to run the football. He's inside the 25 and is brought down around the 20, which is going to be very close to that 1st down marker, and they signal 1st down Tigers.
Yeah, some miscommunication in the backfield there as 2 players collided. Hahn decided to keep the football and made something out of nothing there.
Yeah, that was a pretty big hit in the backfield, too. That could have been close to our hard hit of the night.
Heard it all the way up here.
2 Lamar players running into each other. So 1st and 10 Lamar. Snap goes to Wilkerson. He's going to run it himself. Wrapped up by Cosmo Rhodes, and then a couple of other Cassville defenders diving on. And Wilkerson is able to take it back down to the 17 for a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Clock ticking down to 1.5 minutes until halftime here. Tigers taking their time, wanting to try to get those points as late in the half as they can.
They would like to have the running clock to start the second half. Cassville going to try to prevent that from happening. 2nd down and 6 for the Tigers at the Wildcats 17. They snap the ball to Wilkerson. Wilkerson's got running room around the right edge. He takes it down to the 5 and picks up a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal Tigers.
A nifty run there by Wilkerson from our angle. You can see the hole and see him work. Once he got through it into the linebacking core, made a nice cut and picked up the 1st down.
It's a gain of 12 down to the 5-yard line, and Lamar calls for a timeout with 62 seconds left to go before halftime, and Lamar leading 28-0. So the timeout on the field brought to you by Security Bank. Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. Any bank can cash checks, accept deposits, or make loans, but the distinguishing factor between banks is their level of service to the customer. Security Bank has all their decisions and services generated by their talented local bank staff in a prompt, fair, and professional manner. Security Bank, member FDIC. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you in part by MetaPlansPlus.com Eric Seifert, your local trusted licensed insurance agent for Medicare, health insurance plans, Dental Plus, and much more. MetaPlansPlus.com. First and goal, Lamar at the 5. Drive started out at the Cassville 48. Hahn and Wilkerson, the two quarterbacks. They give it to Wilkerson, running in behind the blocking of Cooper Hahn, and he is going to be held out of the end zone as Wilkerson able to get down to the 1. A gain of 4, and it'll be second down and goal.
Clock continuing to run. 45 seconds remain. Tigers taking their time.
About a 15-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. So second down and goal from the 1. See who gets the call, Wilkerson or Hahn behind the big offensive line. They bring a man in motion. They fake the end around to Query, and it will be Cooper Hahn who takes it in for the score. Oh, correction, Logan Kish over there gets up from the bottom of the pile with the football. So they even faked me out there. A good job by Wilkerson, faking the handoff to Cooper Hahn, gave it to Logan Kish, and he takes it in from 1 yard out. Kish with his second rushing touchdown of the night. And Lamar extends their lead, and now the extra point try by Jose Juarez. And the kick is no good, so it will stay 34-0, and unless something crazy happens in this final 20 seconds, there will not be a running clock to start the second half. Ten plays, 48 yards. Took 4:20 off the clock. But the missed extra point keeps the lead at 34, and we've talked about how quickly a game will fly by if the second half starts with that running clock. Cassville's been on both sides of that in the past, and the third and fourth quarters can go by in a blink if you start that second half with a running clock, so they just avoided that possibility of happening right there.
They sure did. And we'll see if the Wildcats can make something happen here in the last 20 seconds. I don't know that, depends on the return here. We'll see what position they're in, but the Wildcats may go ahead and take it on into the locker room.
Yeah, because the bad part, they're going into that stiff north breeze right now to close out the first half. Kick down the right hash, bounces at the 16-yard line, scooped up back at the 13 by Bailey. Bailey breaks the tackle, brings it out across the 25, across the 30, but a flag thrown behind the play. Bailey is able to bring it out to about the 33-yard line, but we've got an illegal block against Cassville. Is going to take part of that return of Bailey away.
14 seconds remain. And my guess is they will take a knee and head to the locker room, try to regroup here.
Yeah, if it wouldn't have been for the penalty, they may have tried a couple of things here, but penalty is going to move the ball all the way back to the 9-yard line.
First down, Wildcats.
Now that one was marked off from the spot of the foul.
Yes. I think there was a mistake earlier.
So 14 seconds left to go before halftime. First and 10 Wildcats at their own 9. And Roark back at a safety position, and you are correct. As they take a knee, get the clock rolling, and we are going to head to intermission here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. As they head off the field here at halftime, Lamar leads Cassville 34-0. We'll step aside, be back with the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. You're listening to Big 8 Conference Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you in Lamar. We are at halftime. The Lamar Tigers leading the Cassville Wildcats 34-0 here at the break. Looking at the scoring summary from the first half, just 18 seconds into the first quarter, a 55-yard run as Lamar scores on their very first play from scrimmage. Chase Query takes it in and gives the Tigers the early 7-0 lead. 3:31 left to go in the first quarter. A 71-yard pass from Alex Wilkerson to Chase Query. The extra point was good to make it 14-0 Tigers. And then with 9:22 left to go in the second quarter, an 83-yard punt return by Chase Query, and the extra point made it 21-0 Lamar. 6:20 left to go in the first half. A 6-yard run by Logan Kish made it 28-0 Tigers. And then with 20 seconds left to go in the half, a 1-yard run by Kish, but the extra point was no good, so the running clock will not be in effect to start the second half. And we'll see if Cassville, who gets the ball to start the third quarter, can cut into this Tiger lead. Lamar leading 34-0 here at halftime in Lamar. Looking at some of the other scores around the Big 8 here in week number 8. Nevada leading Monette 13-0 early on. Aurora has an 18-7 lead over East Newton. Mount Vernon on top of Marshfield 21-0. Seneca leads McDonald County 12-7. And no score from Reed Spring and Rogersville. And we're still looking for an update from the Hollister at Springfield Catholic matchup here this evening. Here in Lamar, the Tigers lead the Wildcats 34-0 at halftime. We'll step aside as we continue on with the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. Shoemaker Tire, family owned and operated in Golden, Missouri. They've been serving customers in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas since 1961. You're listening to Big 8 Conference football here on the Talon Network. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back with you here in Lamar. The Tigers lead the Cassville Wildcats 34-0 here at halftime. The halftime show brought to you by Shoemaker Tire, people you can trust for tires. Visit them online at shoemakertire.com. Give them a call at 417-271-3490 or drop by Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. Looking at some of the stats from the first half, the Lamar Tigers, 16 carries for 117 yards. They completed 2 of 5 passes for 81 yards for 198 yards of total offense. They picked up 7 first downs, did not turn the ball over. They were penalized twice for 15 yards and punted once for 37 yards. Cassville, 16 carries for 49 yards. They completed 3 of 7 passes for 42 yards for a total of 91 yards of offense. Wildcats picked up 4 first downs. They turned it over once on an interception. They were penalized 4 times for 45 yards, and Cassville punted 3 times for a 32-yard average. Individual numbers for the Lamar Tigers. Chase Query has 2 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Logan Kish has 4 carries for 8 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alex Wilkerson has 25 yards on 4 carries, and Cooper Hahn has 21 yards on 5 carries. Query also has 2 catches for 81 yards, and he also has a punt return that is
83.
83, I wrote it down. Yep, there we go, an 83-yard punt return for a score. So all-purpose yardage. Chase Query's running away with it tonight for the Lamar Tigers.
He's having a heck of a football game, and it all happened pretty quick right there in the first quarter, and just the speed that he has out there is just different than most of the other kids on the field tonight.
Leading rusher for the Cassville Wildcats, their quarterback Bodie Rose has 30 yards unofficially on 9 carries. Bryson Jacobson's been held at 9 yards on 4 carries, and Kyle Bailey 10 yards on 3 carries. Bryson Jacobson has 1 catch for 14 yards, and Cosmo Rhodes has 2 catches for 28 yards to lead the Wildcats in receiving here tonight. Still got about 6 minutes left to go before the teams come back out, and then they have to go through their warm-ups to start the second half. The temperatures have only dipped down to about 57, 58 degrees, but with that wind, it is cold here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium, so they will definitely want to take that 3-minute period to loosen up and get ready to start the second half. We'll be back with more of the Shoemaker Tire halftime show right after this. Shoemaker Tire, they've been a name you can count on for tires since 1961. Mark and the gang will have you up and running when you need a new set of tires in no time flat, or just when you have no time for a flat. Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden. 34-0, Lamar leading Cassville here at the break. You're listening to Big 8 Conference Football here on the Talon Network. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back with you here in Lamar, along with Todd Speakman running the camera for us on CassvilleWebTV.com. Well, we've made it to halftime. We haven't froze out yet, so we got 2 more quarters to go. Cassville trailing Lamar 34-0 here at the break. Both teams out of the locker room getting ready to start the third quarter. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. With over 15 years of experience, they specialize in new, used, and custom-built pallets. They're backing the Wildcats all the way at J&M Pallet Company. Their motto is "In God We Trust." Call 847-6732. That's 847-6732. Well, Cassville gets the ball to start the second half. We'll see what the Wildcats can do with it. They put together a really nice drive, their first possession of the night. 5.5 minutes, 11 plays. Got all the way down inside the Lamar 15-yard line, tried a field goal from the right hash, and it hooked wide to the left. And that was the only opportunity that the Wildcats had to put points on the board that deep in Lamar territory in the first half. We didn't think it was going to be the only time, but it ended up the deepest penetration of the night by the Wildcat offense.
And you know, watching that drive, you're thinking, okay, they've seen something. They're exposing it a little bit, and they're moving the football. They moved the chains. Did not end up in third and long situations and had some success. As you said, after that, Lamar kind of shut it down. And Cassville's been in third and long situations. They haven't had a lot of success on first down. Haven't been able to run the ball like they would like. They kind of gone away from the first series, a mix of run and pass. The totals, the halftime totals, it's nearly 50-50 run pass. And the offense is just not enough offense to get in this football game.
So we'll see what adjustments were made at halftime, as the Wildcats will be receiving the second half kickoff. The wind has not really let up a whole lot, and we're over an hour after sundown. The good news is it hasn't gotten any stronger, but it hasn't weakened any. And one of the forecasts I saw said the wind would continue to blow through the night, and I guess that guy wins the prize this week, because so far he's been correct.
Well, whoever told you it was still 57 degrees outside does not win a prize.
No.
Because I don't believe it.
Yeah, that thermometer is broken, whatever.
I do not believe that. A minute and a half. I'll let that clock run.
They're checking to see. That is one thing I neglected to check. I can't even. Which way will Cassville be going? They'll be going into the wind to start the second half, won't they?
Yes.
So they'll have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter.
That's correct. Wildcats had a couple of missed opportunities there in the first half in the passing game, in some deep routes, going with the wind, in fact, where the ball just appeared to just sail. The wind just took it and made the throws, 3 or 4 yards a little bit long with the receiver open. But it's tough. You don't practice in wind like this. You don't practice throwing deep balls in the wind like this because you don't. You just never know when you're going to get it. So it's tough to throw the football with wind in either direction with wind like this.
Well, that's going to wrap up the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. Over 50 years of taking care of their customers like no one else. Call Shoemaker Tire 271-3490 or find them online, shoemakertire.com. Mario Dallapena will tee it up with the wind at his back. Colton Roark and Kyle Bailey back at their own 5-yard line, awaiting the kick of the Tigers. Lamar leads at 34-0 as we get set to start the third quarter. Whistle sounds. Dallapena checks and kicks it away. Bailey fields it back at his own 13-yard line, brings it up the right hash and is tripped up across the 25. Dives out to the 26 or 27. So a return of nearly 15 yards for Kyle Bailey. It will be 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 27-yard line.
And the Wildcats take the field. We'll see, it's always interesting to see when they come out after halftime what kind of adjustments have been made, what some of the players, they talk to the coaches, what they're seeing up front in the techniques and formations that the opposition is throwing at them. So we'll see if any adjustments were made here and see if the Wildcats can start moving the football again.
Kraft and Rourke go wide to the left side. We've got a Lamar Tiger player having to readjust some of the footgear. Now he's ready to go. 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 27. Bodie Rose up under center, split backfield behind him. And he hands the ball off to one of those running backs trying to get around the left edge. It was Kyle Bailey running in behind Tristan Thompson. Bailey is able to move it forward for a gain of 1 to the 28, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Not much room to work on the right side there for Bailey. Defended pretty well there by the Tigers.
Bowen brings the play in from the sideline. Wildcats break huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Trip receivers now to the right. Bailey, Rhodes, and Roark. Bodie Rose from the shotgun, fakes the pass, going to run it himself, bounces it to the outside, trying to get around the edge, and a great job by Ori Jones. Grabbed a hold of a handful of Bodie Rose's jersey and drug him down for a pickup of only about 4 yards out to the 32. It looked like it was going to go for a lot more than that if not for Jones hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, 3 wide receivers all out there to block, and there was some room, and Jones saved a big run. Rose just not quite able to get out of that tackle.
He needed one of those old Earl Campbell tearaway jerseys on that one.
It would have been gone right there.
Pass to Cosmo Rhodes, and a catch is made at the 35. Rhodes takes it out across the 40 to the 41 and picks up a Cassville 1st down.
Well,
that
nice
play has been very successful tonight for the Wildcats.
Yes, it has, and Rhodes has done a nice job catching the football tonight. He's had his struggles this season, but tonight he's doing a real good job catching the football. And Rose delivering a nice pass once again.
Well, they put it down at the 40, so it wasn't all the way out to the 41, as it was a gain of 8. Wildcat 1st down brought to you by Superior Metal. Find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com and find out what they can custom build for you. Bodie Rose this time rolling to his right, looking to throw under pressure. Now he unloads the football in the direction of Kyle Bailey. And that was the big defensive end, Trace Wooldridge, 6'4", 230 pounds, bearing down on Bodie Rose. And a flag is thrown back at the 31. Are they going to call grounding, intentional grounding?
He was outside the pocket, but I don't think the ball got back to the line of scrimmage. And so indeed that is what they have called right here.
So that is going to push Cassville back to their own 26.
And a loss of down on the play as well.
It's only a 5-yard penalty, but it's from the spot of the foul, which moves it. And since it was behind the line of scrimmage, takes it all the way back to the 26. So a big penalty field position-wise as it turns Cassville into facing a 2nd down and 25. They got to get the ball all the way out to midfield to pick up the 1st down. Bodie Rose thrown back across his body, tries to hit Thompson out in the flat, and a flag thrown back in the middle of the field. The pass was incomplete.
And another flag on the play, right in the middle of the field.
And this one's going to go against Lamar. Defensive holding against the Tigers, so the penalty flag thrown against Lamar. Brought to you by Extreme Graphics and Window Tinting at 701 Mill Street in Cassville. For window tinting, decals, wraps, and accessories, Extreme Graphics and Window Tinting in Cassville.
Yeah, it looked like Thompson, as he was heading out into the flat, looks like he was impeded a little bit on his route. Official right there to make the call.
So that will spot the ball out at the 36 after a 10-yard penalty. Wildcats facing 2nd down and about 15 to go. So the two teams trading penalties. Bodie Rose, couldn't tell whether he was trying to hand it off or whether the play got busted a little bit. Either way, the Cassville quarterback keeps the football, moves it to the 38 pick up a 2, and it'll bring up third down.
Wildcats offense working behind the chains, certainly not where they want to be, and this is a third and long situation here.
Cassville just 2 of 6 on third down conversion tries back in the first half. 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Cassville trailing 34-0. Rose throws the ball up in the air, and it's intercepted, trying to hit Joseph Kraft on the slant, and the defensive back jumped the route and picks it off at the Cassville 47-yard line.
Defensive back had great positioning right there. He was able to jump the route and pick the football off and give the Tigers the ball to start this half in Wildcat territory.
That was Adam Klusman making the interception. Lamar takes over at the Cassville 47. Tigers bring Query in motion, fake the handoff to him. Up the middle, the ball goes to Kish. Kish lowering the shoulders and driving forward down close to the 40-yard line. They list Kish at 5'9", 175, but he was showing an extra burst of power there as he picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, did a nice job of getting down behind those pads and taking some punishment. Kept those legs churning.
So 2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup. Wilkerson brings Kish in motion, gives on the inside, handoff to Query, and here he comes around the corner. He's got one man out here on the edge. He's at the 30, at the 20, runs right by the defense and down the sidelines. Did they say he stepped out of bounds back at the 15? Yes, he did.
There's going to be a holding call out here around the 30-yard line as well.
So we got all kinds of things going on here. Query with a quick burst of speed just outrun everybody. One linesman said he may have stepped on the sideline, but the flag thrown way back behind that. And they are going to mark it off from the 23 and take it back to the 33-yard line. So it will be a gain for Query down to the 23, a pickup of 17 yards, but then the 10-yard penalty against the Tigers will bring it back 10 yards. And again, that penalty brought to you by Extreme Graphics at Window Tinting at 701 Mill Street in Cassville. Tigers running the football on 1st down. And this time Wilkerson with the run. And he is able to pick up a couple of yards down to the 31.
Good job along that defensive line on that play. Wilkerson, not a lot of room to work with Sizemore and also Ryder able to get in the backfield.
So 2nd down and 8 Tigers. Wilkerson all alone in the backfield this time. Looks down the left hash. The ball is tipped up into the air, trying to get to Logan Kish. Good defense downfield as Kraft, along with Thompson and Mason Bryan. I think Mason Bryan got a hand on that and deflected it away.
It was Mason Bryan, the linebacker, deep in the secondary to leap and deflect the football. Really good play there by a freshman linebacker.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Lamar just 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversion tries in the first half, but they were 2 for 2 on 4th down conversion tries. Facing a 3rd down and long here. We've got receivers split right and left. Man in the slot, they bring him in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Wilkerson wanting to run with the football. Sidesteps a man at the line of scrimmage, breaks another tackle and takes it down inside the 20 and picks up the 1st down.
Wow.
On a 3rd and long run.
Quarterback draw there. He faked to the man coming across in front of his face. Got through the line of scrimmage into the secondary before he was brought down on the play.
Spot him down at the 19 for a gain of 12. Wilkerson now 39 yards on 6 carries. 1st and 10 Tigers. Twin receivers to the right. Fake the handoff underneath. Pass out into the flat. Goes into the hands of Aiden Sheet. Sheet took a shot from Colton Rourke and held on to the football. Turns it up the sidelines. And they are going to spot him down at the 14-yard line after a gain of 5.
Yeah, pretty good lick out there by Roark, and somehow Sheet stayed on his feet and was able to spin out of that and pick up a few extra yards.
So 2nd down and 5. They go back to the twin quarterbacks, Hahn and Wilkerson. They snap it to Hahn. He gives it to Kish. Kish, a quick burst of speed around the right end, but then he's stacked up by the Cassville defense. It's a gain of only a couple down to about the 12.
A good tackle there on Kish. As Joseph Ryder met him head on and stood him straight up. Big time hit there by Joseph Ryder.
So another 3rd down situation facing Lamar, 3rd down and 2. Ball is snapped to Wilkerson, a big hole up the middle. Wilkerson at the 5, diving for the end zone, touchdown Tigers. A huge hole opened up by the offensive line right up the middle, and Wilkerson takes it in from 12 yards out to add to the Lamar score.
And another explosive play, not the yardage, but just how quickly Wilkerson, once he turned downfield, just shot downfield. Powerful run into the end zone.
So Juarez now to attempt the point after the 12-yard touchdown run by Alex Wilkerson. His first rushing touchdown of the night. Kick by Juarez, a line drive kick, but this one finds the uprights, and the PAT is good. So 5:44 left to go, 3rd quarter, 41-0 Lamar, and now the running clock will be put into play, as Cassville will have to try to cut into that lead to get the clock back into normal operation. So the Tigers turned the Cassville turnover into a touchdown. It took them 8 plays to go the 47 yards, but they were able to punch it in on the 12-yard run by Alex Wilkerson. He becomes the 4th different Tiger to score a touchdown tonight, and Lamar extends their lead to 41-0.
It's a good football team we're seeing out here, Sammy, and another team that seems to be primed to make another playoff run.
Yeah, Wilkerson and Hahn both got dinged up a little bit back in the middle part of the season. They held them out a couple of games, saw some limited action there against a couple of opponents, trying to get them healthy.
I don't think they played in the loss against Seneca.
And they played very sparingly against Monette too, I know that. So they were trying to get them healthy for this time of year, because what Lamar wants to do is make another deep run into the Class 2 playoffs. They've made it to the state championship game the last 2 years, finished runner-up, and they're hoping to do the same again. Deep kick this time, and a big hit out at the 20-yard line on the return man for the Cassville Wildcats, and that was Dakota Bowen. He held on to the football, but he took a lick.
He sure did. Wow. Just 2 players. Bowen's got his helmet off. May need to get something fixed on his helmet after that, but 2 players just running full speed. Bang. Out there on the far hash. Wow.
So Cassville will have it 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. The Wildcats trailing now 41-0. Bodie Rose up under center. Resets the tight end. Cosmo Rhodes around to the right side. Cassville going to run that direction as they hand it off to Kyle Bailey, and Bailey is tripped up at the 20-yard line. May have actually lost about a half a yard, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long. Tonight's 3rd quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. With the motto "In God We Trust," remember during the 3rd quarters of your life, praise God whether you win or lose and give Him the victory. Phone Jeff for all your pallet needs at 847-6732. It was a loss of about a half a yard. Back to the 20. 2nd down, and we'll call it 11. Riley James goes wide to the right. Colton Roark split out wide to the left. Bodie Rose. Handoff up the middle. Cassville offensive line trying to get a little surge right into the heart of that Tiger defense. And the ball carrier was Kyle Bailey. He is able to pick up 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Bailey held so far to just 13 yards on 6 carries tonight. And the Wildcats facing another 3rd down and long situation.
Yeah, yards have been hard to come by for Bailey tonight. Still running hard, just not a lot of room to operate. This defensive line, linebacking core of the Tigers, physical at the point of contact.
Trip receivers out to the left, and now they set Thompson out wide to the right. 4 receivers in the formation. Bodie Rose with some time to throw. Down the middle of the field, he's got a man open, and he overthrows Kyle Bailey. It goes off his fingertips, incomplete.
Bailey streaking down that far hash right down the middle of the football field. Had a couple of steps on the linebacker. Reached up with the left hand, was able to get a hand on it, just not able to haul the pass in. Wow.
Tonight's broadcast of Wildcat football brought to you by American National Insurance agent Ashley Stump. She has coverage options for your home, auto, farmland, life. Visit her just off the square at 110 West 7th Street in Cassville. Let Ashley Stump protect you. Your Wildcat broadcast team brought to you by Les Jacobs Ford. They finance what they sell, and they promise a laid-back experience with competitive rates and no paperwork or document fees. Les Jacobs Ford in Cassville. Bodie Rose bunts it away. It bounces at the Lamar 45 and then rolls out of bounds at the 40. Is that where they're going to put it?
Right at it, just inside it maybe. We'll see here. Looks like official's got his foot right on the 40.
So Cassville punts it away. And that is what? So that's a 38-yard kick for Bodie Rose. No return. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 40 with 2:10 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Lamar leading 41-0. Got a new quarterback in for the Tigers. And the handoff goes to a new running back as Trent Torbeck, sophomore, 6'2", 155, the new quarterback. They hand it off to Carson Parker, the new ball carrier, and Parker's able to get 2 yards out to the 42.
Well, the Tigers they've sent in a whole new unit, offensive line, all the way back.
Parker goes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. The ball carrier was Toby Ansley, and he is tripped up back at the 40-yard line for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Morse got in there, got a hold of the leg, and brought him down in the backfield very quickly. Morse made a good read on the play.
So the Tigers gain 2, but then lose 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Final 60 seconds of quarter number 3. Tonight's 3rd quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. They customize pallets to fit your needs. Their motto is "In God We Trust." Phone Jeff at J&M Pallet at 847-6732. 3rd and 10 Tigers at their own 40-yard line. A little misdirection in the backfield, and there's Cosmo Rhodes, gets to the ball carrier. That was Eli Ngugi. That's one guy we haven't seen tonight is Ian Ngugi, and I haven't even seen him on the field. I wonder if he's dinged up. The quarterbacks we were talking about were hurt. They're back, but Ian Ngugi, we have not seen him tonight.
And he's an electric player himself, and you're absolutely correct. We saw him warming up before the game, but don't know that he's had a snap out here tonight.
So it's a loss back to the 36, and the Tigers are going to be forced to punt. A good kick this time by Query, and it's still rolling inside the 10, inside the 5, all the way down to the 1-yard line. What a kick by Chase Query. That guy's been Mr. Everything tonight for Lamar. Cassville forced the Tigers to punt. The forced punt brought to you by CS Bank. You can go to csbank.com to view firsthand all the services they have to offer. CS Bank is local, but then Query puts it down to the 1-yard line.
And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Running clock makes things go quickly. And they'll go all the way down to the other end of the field to start this drive. Just about as far as you can go to switch ends.
So a 59-yard kick for Chase Query. And when we come back in the 4th quarter, Cassville will have it at their own 1-yard line. Lamar leads at 41-0. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you to start the fourth quarter. Tonight's fourth quarter brought to you by First State Bank. Convert an opportunity into reality at First State Bank in Cassville. The Wildcats run the ball on first down and get a carry out to the 9-yard line for a gain of 8. And I forgot to see, or I neglected to see who carried the ball. Did you catch the ball carrier there?
I did not. I was looking at the wide receiver.
I was too. There was a wide out, wide open. Nobody covering him over here on the far sideline.
Nobody saw him, including the quarterback.
Bodie Rose going to run the football around the left edge. He comes. He's out to the 15, gets to the sidelines, takes it out to the 18, maybe the 19-yard line, and it'll pick up a first down for the Wildcats. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. Find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com.
A nice job there by Rose on the quarterback sweep to create some more breathing room, get him out of the end zone.
Lamar leading 41-0 here with a running clock early on in the fourth quarter. Twin receivers go out wide to the right. Split backfield behind Bodie Rose. Handoff goes to Kyle Bailey. Splits through a hole. He's across the 30, out across the 35, takes it to the 40-yard line before he is finally brought down on the play by Hunter Wolf. A first down run for Kyle Bailey. The chains will move. That first down brought to you by Superior Metal. Call for a free quote, 888-364-9527.
A good run there by Bailey. Hole opened up along that right side. He shot through it through the linebackers into the secondary, brought down by one of the safeties. Good hard run.
The gain of 22 for Kyle Bailey. First and 10 Cassville. The ball at the Wildcat 41-yard line. Rose this time hands it off to Thompson. Thompson powers ahead to the 45-yard line, picks up 4 yards on first down.
Straight ahead there by Thompson, right at the defense. Nice gain there on first down. Second 5 or 6, those are not terrible downs to be in. And for the Wildcats, unfortunately, hadn't been in a lot of those tonight.
Under 9.5 left to play with the running clock here in the fourth quarter. Lamar leading 41-0. The Wildcats facing second down and 6 at their own 45-yard line. Pitch the ball back to Bailey. He's got Thompson leading the way around the edge. Makes a cutback, gets to midfield, and is dropped down at the 50-yard line just shy of the first down marker after a pickup of 5 yards.
Bailey working his way around the right edge there. He just hit the brakes, both feet chopped, and went back against the grain, nearly picking up that first down.
So it's third down and 1 now facing Cassville right at midfield. Riley James splits out wide to the left. Colton Roark will go wide right. Bodie Rose back under center. He's going to run the football himself. He's got the first down and more. He's inside the 45, inside the 40, down the sidelines, 30, one man to beat, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Cassville. Bodie Rose takes it in for the first points of the night for the Wildcats.
Rose showing some great speed himself as he worked his way to the Tiger sideline, turned on the Jets, and just outran the defense the rest of the way. Big play by Bodie Rose.
Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance. On the square in Cassville and in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shell Knob. Willis Insurance, your trusted choice insurance agent. A 50-yard touchdown run by Bodie Rose caps off a 99-yard drive for the Wildcats. Ashton Wheeler in to attempt a point after. Out of the hold of Bodie Rose, he calls for the ball. It's down on the tee. The kick is up, and the kick is good. The Wildcat extra point brought to you by Berry Electric Co-op in Cassville. Internet speed is spelled Gobeck in Berry County. 7:57 left to play. It's 41-7. And that missed extra point by Lamar late in the first half has cost them the running clock to stay in place as we're back to 34 points, so we're back to normal operation with under 8 minutes left.
7:57. Big play by the Wildcats. Rose around the right edge. Wildcat kicking team discussing things right now. And this is, at this point in the game, Sammy, 41-7. You're looking for your kids to keep fighting and keep competing, and we certainly saw that out of Bodie Rose and Kyle Bailey on the previous 2 runs.
Tonight's fourth quarter brought to you by First State Bank. They came to Cassville on Main Street over 26 years ago to help their friends and neighbors reach their financial goals. First State Bank in Cassville. 41-7, 7:57 on the clock. Cassville 6 plays, 99 yards. And the final 50 yards from quarterback Bodie Rose. Ashton Wheeler in to kick it away with the wind at his back. We've got Adam Klusman and Aiden Sheet back deep to await the kick of Wheeler. Ashton Wheeler approaches, puts the ball in the air, squib kick down the middle of the field. Scooped up the 20-yard line, now dropped by Sheet, picks it back up at the 25, trying to get to the sidelines and is driven out of play at around the 36 or 37-yard line.
A good tackle over there, trying to get a number as they come across. It looks like, was that Ryder? Made the tackle over there? No, that was Norris, I believe. So nice job out there tackling the speedy return man.
They spot it down at the Lamar 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers. They're on top 41-7 here with 7:50 left to play. Second unit stays in for Lamar. Trent Torbeck, the quarterback.
Wildcats have brought in a lot of second-string defensive players, it appears.
Torbeck going to run the ball himself. Takes it ahead to the 40-yard line for a gain of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
So a lot of players on both sides getting an opportunity out here tonight. I'm sure the second-string guys appreciate being on the field rather than over on the sideline taking this wind all night long.
Yeah, because they've been having to look right into that wind kind of like we have. 2nd down and 8. Running the football out to the 45-yard line, taking on contact. I believe that was Toby Ansley. Ansley with second effort gets it out to the 47, picks up 7 yards. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 1. So 3rd and short for Lamar. Still looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the second half, and they got it. As Torbeck, the quarterback, takes it into Cassville territory, right behind the offensive surge, all the way down to the Wildcat 44-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards for Torbeck and a 1st down for the Tigers.
Yeah, they needed 3, and that offensive line for the Tigers just bulldozed their way to 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, even their second unit has quite a bit of size up front. Because you got a freshman out there right now, 6'3", 240 pounds, offensive lineman, freshman.
Nice frame to work with, huh?
Yeah. Ansley gets the snap, fights his way back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Cassville defense on that one. As they get all over Toby Ansley, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, fly into the football. Clock ticking down. 5.5 minutes remaining in this one.
2nd and 10. Torbeck takes it straight ahead to the 40-yard line, ducks his shoulders and gets down to the 39, picks up 5 yards. And it will bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers at the Cassville 39. 5:20 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Tigers leading 41-7.
Tigers in no hurry to run plays, taking their time, break the huddle with about 20 seconds on the clock.
Ansley and Torbeck in the backfield. The ball goes through the hands of Zach Estes, and now a loss all the way back to midfield. So Estes was back there and had the ball go through his hands. He is a sophomore. It's going to be a loss of 11 and bring up 4th down and 17.
Wildcats quickly in the backfield to bring him down. We'll see what the Tigers do here, if they elect to punt the football or continue to play offense. And it appears, unless they try a little pooch kick here, we'll see what the Tigers do.
Nobody dropping back for Cassville right now.
And the Tigers are going to take a timeout here.
So 4:18 left to go in the football game. Lamar leading 41-7. The Tigers want to talk things over here, facing 4th down and long. Timeout brought to you by Security Bank. Everyone has debit cards, ATMs, mobile banking, but at Security Bank, you sit across from the decision maker. Security Bank of Cassville, Wheaton, and Exeter, member FDIC. Well, it doesn't take long, and they make a decision and quickly back out onto the field. And the Tigers will be sending the punting unit in. I thought there were some upperclassmen came back in, so they're going to send the kicking unit in. Chase Query to punt it away. Yeah, it looks like we got Riley James back inside his own 20 awaiting the kick. The punt fielded. No, it goes off of James, and a scramble for it back between the 15 and the 20. And the Tigers have come up with the football.
Tough situation catching a punt that's punted into the wind, because the wind's going to really force the football down. And James trying to run up to catch that football, just not able to get to it. Was able to get a hand on it, but Tigers down there to cover the unsecured football.
So a mishandled punt gives the ball back to Lamar at the Cassville 17-yard line with 4:10 left to play. So the Tigers, that almost worked out like rugby. Kick the ball ahead down the field and go take over possession and gain about 40 yards. Torbeck gets the snap. Has blockers around the right edge, but a good job by Cassville's defense to quickly collapse on him as they drop him for a gain of 5 down to the 12.
Clock moves under 4 minutes remaining in this one.
2nd down and 5 for Lamar. Torbeck and Ansley, the twin quarterbacks. The snap goes to Torbeck. Torbeck inside the 10, fights his way down to the 7, picks up 5 more yards. Will it be enough for the first down? We'll see. And they are signaling 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Clock continuing to roll, down to 3 minutes left to go here in the football game. So 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Just inside the 8-yard line. And the ball carrier this time, I believe, was Dominic Gordon. New ball carrier, freshman, 6 foot, 165 pounds. Ends up no gain on the play. And it will bring up 4th down and less than a yard to go. Lamar taking time here with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Torbeck, the quarterback. And the snap comes back to him. He's going to run it himself. Hit before he can get to the 5-yard line and runs out of room. He gets to the 6, maybe.
He did pick it up.
Just enough. He needed the 6 to pick up the first down, and that's where they spot it down. So the Tigers do pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Lamar, with 1:45 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Torbeck stays at quarterback, joined by Dominic Gordon. Torbeck going to keep it. Moves it down to the 4, maybe the 3. We'll see where they spot it down at. They put it down at the 4 for a gain of 2.
2nd and goal from the 4. Clock ticking down, nearing a minute remaining.
So 63 seconds remaining here in the football game. 2nd and goal from the 4 for the Lamar Tigers. And it looks like the Tigers, they send Torbeck up under center, and they drop a man back, and he is just going to take a knee. And we'll see if how quickly they spot the football. And they start the play clock already, so there's about 5-second differential. Lamar's going to have to snap it one more time. So the Tigers can move right back to the line of scrimmage as we're inside 30 seconds left to go. Torbeck scans over the defense on 3rd and goal. He'll take a knee one more time, and that will seal Lamar's victory as they're going to advance to 7-1 on the season. They win it tonight 41-7 over the Cassville Wildcats.
Tough football team the Wildcats ran into tonight. Long road trip up, long road trip back, and just a tough physical football team that the Wildcats unfortunately lose to tonight.
Lamar will be back at home next week to close out the regular season, hosting the Hollister Tigers. Cassville heads home next Friday for the annual Berry County Brawl against the Monet Cubs. Lamar wins it 41-7 here tonight in Lamar. We'll take a break and be back with the Post Electric Postgame Show. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back at Lamar, the Tigers win it 41-7 over the Cassville Wildcats. Lamar built up a 34-0 halftime lead, and then the Tigers scored with 5:44 left to go in the third quarter on a 12-yard run by Alex Wilkerson to make it 41-0. Cassville got on the board with 8:25 left to go in the ballgame. A 50-yard run by Bodie Rose. PAT by Ashton Wheeler gave us our final score. Lamar 41, Cassville 7.
Yeah, most of the action there in the first half. Saw a lot of explosive plays, long touchdowns, punt return. A lot of things going on out on that field, and just a tough night for the Wildcats, and just they saw some exceptional speed on the other side of the field that the Lamar Tigers brought out there tonight.
We're going to get rolling into the Post Electric post-game show. Post Electric for sales, service, or repair, new residential, remodeling, commercial, industrial. Give them a call at 846-7100. You'll find Post Electric's prices aren't shocking. Tigers win it over the Wildcats here tonight in Lamar. We'll step aside. We've still got the post-game stats to go over. We'll hand out our post-game awards and visit with Coach Weldy as well before we get off the air here this evening. You're listening to Wildcat Football here on the Talon Network. Checking out the final stats from tonight's football game. Lamar finished with 35 carries for 204 yards. The Tigers completed 3 of 7 passes for 86 yards for a total of 290 yards of offense. Lamar picked up 10 first downs, did not turn the ball over. They were penalized 4 times for 35 yards and punted twice for a 48-yard average. Cassville 27 rushes for 157 yards. They were 4 of 10 through the air for 50 yards for a total of 207 yards of offense. The Wildcats picked up 8 first downs, turned it over twice, both on interceptions. They were penalized 5 times for 50 yards and punted 3 times for a 34-yard, actually 4 times for a 34-yard average on the night. Lamar was led on the ground by Chase Query. He had 3 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. Alex Wilkerson had 51 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown. Trent Torbeck carried for 29 yards on 7 carries. Cooper Hahn had 21 yards on 5 carries. And Logan Kish had 17 yards on 6 carries and 2 touchdowns. Query also had 2 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. He also had a punt return for a touchdown tonight for the Lamar Tigers. For the Cassville Wildcats, they were led on the ground by Bodie Rose, 96 yards unofficially on 13 carries and a touchdown. Kyle Bailey had 40 yards on 8 carries. Bryson Jacobson had 9 yards rushing and 14 yards receiving, and Cosmo Rhodes had 3 receptions. 3 receptions for Cosmo Rhodes, the tight end, for 36 yards on the night. Lamar wins at 41-7. We need to take another break, let you hear from our sponsors, continue on with the Post Electric postgame show. Post Electric, if you're building a new home or remodeling, call Post Electric first. You'll be shocked at what they can do for you. 846-7100. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you in Lamar, we continue on with the Post Electric post-game show. Power problems at the plant? Need some light? Call Post Electric at 846-7100 and see what they can do for you. It's now time for the post-game interview with Coach Clay Weldy. It's brought to you by the Law Office of John A. Leewright. They proudly support the Wildcats, and they want you to remember, if you don't talk, you may walk, and to call 417-847-2177. That's 847-2177. Well, Coach, the game got off to a rough start. Lamar scores on their very first play from scrimmage to jump out to an early lead, but then your Wildcats regroup. 11 plays, 5.5 minutes off the clock. You march it right down the field. Unfortunately, missed that field goal, and then the Tigers were able to take advantage of that. They got the momentum back on their side and held it through the rest of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing about tonight. We talked to our coaches. We're talking about before the game, like we need to have a momentum play for us early, and then the first play of the game, they go to the house, and it was just like, oh gosh, it's kind of cynical over again. They get a big play up, and then a team like ours is very young, and they're another veteran team. They all seniors and juniors, and when a young team like ours has a big play go against them early, it's tough. But I was very proud of our offense coming out, and we moved the ball, completed some passes, which we've been struggling there, and that was nice, completing some balls, and got down there, and got down the red zone, and couldn't keep it going, and had a chance to kick a field goal, and Ashton got a good leg into it, but it was a tough crosswind, just pushed it, to the left, and then from that point on, we really struggled, and we do some good things here. We miss a pass here. We had opportunities, just not connecting tonight on some stuff, and that's football.
Yeah, that first drive was really nice. You mixed, like you said, the pass and the run in, and we talked about it. Kicking from the right hash, he was going to have to hook it a little bit, and then he had the crosswind, and it just hooked just barely a little too much, so an unfortunate break there. But then, as you pointed out, too, a lot of opportunities. There were some pass plays that looked to have some guys open, just the wind affecting the ball just a little bit off of fingertips and things like that. It goes back to that old adage about the game of inches, a little break here and there, and turns into some big offensive plays, but instead it goes the other way.
Yeah, we had multiple passes open, just missed them, and we've kind of struggled this year in the passing game, and it's like we're always just a yard too short or a yard too far ahead, and at some point it's going to click in, but it hasn't yet, and we got a few games here to get going, and so hopefully that gets remedied. But we had opportunities tonight. We had some things that were open, just missed them. I knew it was going to be a tough night in the box. They're very good up front, and we're outsized again, and our guys fought in there, but we could only do so much, and that's a part of the game. We got to get better at throwing the ball, and as I mentioned, we had opportunities. There was stuff open, and we just couldn't connect.
Made the Tigers really work on a couple of their drives, too. Your defense was doing a good job, especially between the tackles at times, making those guys really have to work hard for extra yards.
Yeah, our defense, they played hard, just going in there, and we've been doing a better job of tackling the last few weeks. We had, going back to McDonald County, we had a bunch of missed tackles, and that was a big point of emphasis we had. In the last two games, we've cut it down dramatically. I think we were in this single digits missed tackles last week, so we were very proud of that. We missed some tackles tonight, and they have good players, but I thought overall, defensively, we played with great effort.
Late in the football game, with the running clock going, an unbelievable punt that rolled all the way down to the 1 yard line, and that was the chance there to see really what your kids were made of, and boy, they dug themselves out of that deep hole and ended up taking it all the way to the other end and scored.
Yeah, that's the thing we talked at halftime. We're going to talk about our character. Things are not going well. We did not play well the first half, and let's go compete in the second half, and let's start getting ourselves ready for what's coming at the next weeks. And thought our kids came out and played hard. Gave great effort. Special teams tonight we struggled there. We got some penalties. It's like every time we had a kickoff return the first half, we had a penalty, and we were always backed up. And then we had a punt return for a touchdown. We missed several tackles there, and then they punt the ball, goes to the 1 yard line, but we got a nice shot together and scored, and our kids fought, and that's what we wanted. We seemed to not give up, and that didn't happen tonight. Just play a tough team that had a better night than we had.
Buddy Rose ends up leading you rushing the football in yardage, and he also scores the touchdown. Kyle Bailey held to less than 50 yards, but he was picking up some nice carries for you in the second half, and Cosmo Rhodes was 3 big catches tonight.
Yeah, Cosmo's been a weapon that we've been trying to get going this year, and he had a catch here and drop here, and I thought he had a really nice night tonight. Caught some balls and did a good job blocking and on defense, and Just proud of our kids. You know, Lamar has had they've had both their quarterbacks out for several weeks, and I thought the coach would be short for the game, and he's been kind of frustrated offensively. Well, they both came back tonight, and there was excitement there for their kids. I know that'd be the case, and they got to kind of do what they want to do offensively. You know, last week they kind of really struggled offensively without quarterbacks, so they're going to be a tough team down the stretch here. Now they're getting healthy, and especially what they can do offensively now with everyone back, makes them more multiple. And that was some teams that got to not see that the last few weeks. And we have to see the full brunt of their force tonight, and so they're going to be tough out in Class 2.
Yeah, because you and I talked about that in the pregame. With both of those guys back, they give you so many different looks. The defenses have to be ready for everything because they'll throw that old double wing look at you with the twin quarterbacks, but then they'll also go shotgun sometimes. They'll go three wide. They give you all different looks now with all of those guys healthy.
And what they ran offensively the last 2 weeks, we didn't even see it tonight, because they were about the quarterbacks, and so they have to go back to the stuff they want to run. And and they were they were doing some good stuff, but they kind of struggled last week, doing what they want to do offensively. And so I think they got to go out and run the stuff they've been running that they wanted to run. So it made them very tough, to game plan because we weren't sure who would be back. We assumed they'd be back, but seeing them, they could do more stuff than even we were planning for.
Well, back at home next week to close out the regular season, the Berry County Brawl, and the Wildcats are hosting this year.
Yeah, and that's a game that our kids are going to be very excited for, and Monette kids are going to be very excited. It's one that I don't care what the records are. You can throw them out. We're both 0-0 going this game, and with them being Class 4 now, we know this will be the only time we play them this year. So in the past, when we were both Class 3, it could be twice we play them. So we're going to have a great week of practice, hopefully, and get ready for it. It's going to be a tough physical battle. I expect a close game. I think they'll be excited. We'll be excited, and ready to get going.
Yeah, it's really fun because we always talk about the two communities being close together, the rivalry back and forth for the folks that work together all week long. The kids, a lot of them know each other. And then once they started the brawl and put the trophy out there with it, it just added to it.
Yeah, it made it more emphasis, I think, to it. You put a trophy in your trophy case for a year and hopefully go win it back. And, we had it there for a while, and they got it right now, and we're going to try to go get it back for us. But it's going to be a fun game, going to be a fun atmosphere for both communities, and I'm excited for it.
Well, we know you got a long trip back home, so we're going to let you get your kids and get on out of here, but we appreciate your time here in the post game as always. Have a safe trip, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Sammy.
Head Coach Clay Weldy joining us here in the post game. It's brought to you by the Law Office of John A. Leewright. They proudly support the Wildcats, and their professional personnel believe in your rights to a fair hearing and representing you with the utmost expertise, integrity, and excellence. Phone the Law Office of John A. Leewright at 847-2177. Take one more break and be back to wrap things up from Lamar. All right, back at Lamar, we look at our post-game awards for tonight's ball game. We start out with our hard hit of the night, and it is brought to you by Berry County Ready Mix. For any and all of your ready mix, stone, or aggregate needs, stop by Berry County Ready Mix at any of their convenient locations in Shell Knob, Cassville, and Eagle Rock. You can phone their Cassville office for a free estimate at 847-3200. That's 847-3200. Our Wildcat hard hit of the night goes to Joseph Ryder, as he took on, I believe it was Logan Kish, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Took him on head-to-head and stood him straight up and drove him backwards, and he gets our hard hit of the night.
Kish carried the ball extremely hard tonight, went downhill, and Ryder met him right there, and not another inch was given. Big hit out on the field.
Our Wildcat player of the game is brought to you by Fast Trip at 104 South Main in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. It goes to the Wildcat quarterback, Bodie Rose. He ran for unofficially 96 yards and a touchdown. He also completed 4 passes for 50 yards, so over 100 yards of total offense tonight for Bodie Rose, and he's our Wildcat player of the game.
Yep, the Wildcats had, a tough time getting things going tonight, but Rose flashed some good speeds, certainly on that 50-yard touchdown run.
Well, we're going to get on out of here before we get blown away. I thought the wind was going to die down as the game went along. I think it's gotten harder, and it's definitely gotten colder, that's for sure. So we're going to clear on out of here, as we appreciate you being with us tonight for the broadcast of the Wildcats on the road against Lamar. We got other scores around the Big 8. We've got 3 finals. Nevada beats Monette tonight, 48-0. Aurora over East Newton, 32-7. Seneca defeats McDonald County, 38-14. That was a 14-12 lead at halftime for the Mustangs, but Seneca outscores them in the second half and goes on to the win. Late in the football game, Rogersville and Reed Spring tied at 10. And then the last score we had was Mount Vernon at halftime leading Marshfield 42-7, so we're going to assume that was a Mount Vernon win. The only score we could never find tonight, never get an update, was the Hollister Catholic game. I assume the game went on as scheduled. We never heard anything about it being postponed or rescheduled, but never could find a score on that one, so we'll see if we can find one before next week.
Well, the interesting score tonight in the Aurora East Newton game means more than likely Week 10 that the Hound Dogs and Wildcats will meet up again.
Yeah, because Aurora had to beat East Newton to stay in the number 5 spot, Cassville in the 4 spot, so looks like it'll be the Wildcats and the Hound Dogs round number 2. This time it'll be in Cassville, because Cassville not only has the higher seed, but even if Aurora was somehow able to outdo them in points, the Wildcats have the head-to-head over the Hound Dogs.
Yep, playoff football, but the Wildcats do have another game left in the regular season, and a big one with the Berry County Brawl.
Monet Cubs coming to town next Friday night. We invite you to join us for that one. The Berry County Brawl is always an exciting matchup between the Monet Cubs and the Cassville Wildcats, and we'll be on the air at 6:30 from Wildcat Stadium. Thanks to Coach B. Shore and all of his staff here at Lamar for all of their help. We appreciate his hospitality. We would also like to thank all of our sponsors for helping support tonight's broadcast, whether on the radio or on web TV. They're the folks that help us get these games out on the airwaves, and we thank them so much. You'll hear them mentioned again here in the wrap-up. Thanks to Dwayne and Janet for keeping an eye on the studio back at 126 South Jefferson in Aurora. We appreciate their help throughout the season as well. And we will be back with you next Friday for the final week of the regular season. And, boy, you can hear the wind really picking up.
We'll be indoors next week.
We'll be indoors, and hopefully we can get everything packed up before we get blown away here tonight. Once again, our final score, Lamar defeats Cassville 41-7. Speaking for Todd and Jeremy, this is Sammy Clapper saying thanks so much for joining us, and good night from Barton County.